I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. Just, I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it, man.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
You just killed a little fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing.
Lobito!
You got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA boxing.
Jesus Christ! What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? Oh, Jesus. A heavyweight division.
That was absolutely brilliant!
Ah, Jesus. What was that? What the hell was that? People, welcome to BDA Show, the boxing debate arena post-fight show. Whyte versus Povetkin. Dylan Whyte, the guy who never got his title shot. I kept crying about not being able to fight for the WBC heavyweight title. For some reason, he didn't press the issue when Wilder was the champion. All of a sudden, Tyson Fury wins, and he wants that shot. Well, I don't know if that shot is still there. His opportunity might be gone. I mean, what the fuck did we just witness here? How big of an upset is this? That's the real question. Mr. BDA in the chat says Darren Whyte was landing the better shots, but buying the feints. Interesting. I actually said that Povetkin needed to feint a little bit more, but yeah, he got caught, man. He got caught, and he was landing the better shots. Dylan Whyte was landing the better shots. Povetkin, man, fuck, he was hitting the hips, the arms. I was like, fucking just land something flush, man, and he did. Fucking did. All right, let's get some people in here. Whew. We're gonna be opening the phone lines, StreamYard, so everybody can have their say on this upset. And what the hell's gonna happen now with the heavyweight division? Dylan Whyte was a key figure here. All right, hold on. Let me call BDA. Although BDA will be joining us later. Still not available, but Gonzalo wanted to join. I get Stu in here. All right. What in the name of God? What are people saying? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Vince Vegas, who was in the I did a shady live stream before, and there was a few people there. Vince Vegas was there. Subhash Kunar. Jason Bourne was there. Pazja as well. Boxing Virus is now joining us. Bingo. Mark Ant was also there. Who else do we have here? Manny Moda. Andres Hernandez as well here. Don Hearn. Michael Albert. Mr. E. Who else? Thomas Williams. Guys, welcome. All right, we have Gonzalo. Gonzalo, what's up? Oh, shit, sorry. Gonzalo, what's up? Gonzalo. Yep. Go ahead.
Hey.
What's up, man? What do you think about what just fucking happened? Upset? How big of an upset is this? I think Gonzalo is not even there. Kenshiro says, how's everybody today? Right. Well, I'm in shock. If you guys watched the live stream that I was doing before this one, where I was just watching the fight, I fucking went like, oh shit, or something like that. Something along those lines. Like, what the fuck? Whyte was about 4-1 favorite. Okay. Official scorecard boxing says, "Wow, can't believe it." Well, neither can I. I mean, I can't. I mean, it's a heavyweight division, but I can't believe it because Whyte was winning the fight. Povetkin looked like he was just that Povetkin that was gonna get tired at some point, get caught. Always kind of explosive, but eventually would just. I mean, he got dropped. Remember these guys? Povetkin got dropped with a left hook from Dylan Whyte. So, it was playing. The fight was taking its natural course, right? The formalities. Povetkin goes down. Povetkin starts getting tired. Povetkin goes to sleep. All right, we have Revolution. Can you hear me? All right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because I thought something was wrong with my mic because Gonzalo, I don't know where he went. But all right, what's up, man? And tell us what you thought about the fight.
I fucking didn't even realize it happened.
Well, sorry for the mic noise. I'm just moving it around.
I'm looking on Google right now for the result. I don't even see the result up. What are you talking? Povetkin Whyte?
Yeah. So Povetkin gets dropped, gets back up. You think he's gonna go? You think Povetkin's gonna lose? Obviously, he's the underdog. He just got dropped. He comes back and he knocks out Dylan Whyte. Like the referee didn't even count the guy. He just stopped the fight.
Bullshit, bro.
He decked him.
Oh my goodness.
So this is very interesting because obviously it's an upset, and also because this affects the course of the heavyweight division. Everybody was talking about Dylan Whyte having to fight Tyson Fury. It's now mandated by it was mandated by the WBC, but now everything changes. And for these guys, this is the best thing that could have happened. I mean, I don't hate Dylan Whyte.
I need a second to absorb all this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Because I knew the fight was today, but I didn't realize it was early in the day. You know what I mean? I've been a little bit out of the loop, so I was expecting that I was going to have to pick between Alvarez and Joe Smith. I was going to watch. I was thinking, okay, I'm going to watch that fight instead of Povetkin Whyte. All right. So I fucking missed it, but good. It shakes it up. Jesus Christ, this is the third. This is the smallest, but it's the third shakeup I can think of that's happened recently in the division. I mean, you had AJ and Wilder both taking their first losses, and now this was a little bit of a side story. So what is this? This puts Povetkin back in the picture, right?
Right. Also, I'm forgetting about the future of Povetkin. Like I'm acting as if he just won, but I'm just focusing on Whyte and whatever. We got also focus on Povetkin. What's next? He's still in the mix, obviously.
I think it's kind of obvious. I think Wilder is going to have a tune-up return fight against Povetkin and finally settle that fucking score.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you're a whole lot older and everything. Okay, now we'll pick it up.
Right. There could be a rematch. I don't know. Povetkin probably he believes now that he deserves a title shot, but again, Fury against Joshua. There's a lot of money involved. And I don't think Povetkin can affect the course of this fight. Like this fight has to happen, right? Povetkin, I guess he's gonna have to wait.
Well, I mean, it's always, boxing, it's a one-on-one sport, right? So you get the 1 and 2 guy face off. Then you get the 3 and 4 guy face off, hypothetically. So Povetkin, he could float around that 3 or 4 spot. And Wilder falls right there too. You got AJ Fury already lined up. That's 1 and 2. Now kind of the next 2 top guys, that's the match. And it was supposed to be Whyte. That was mandated. Now the guy who was mandated got knocked off.
Yeah.
But we also got to see, oh man, I don't even want to talk about this though. The Chris Arreola Ruiz. Is that confirmed? Is that actually happening?
I don't know. I have no idea. If somebody in the chat knows if Arreola will be fighting Andy Ruiz, let us know. And please don't give me that bullshit Mexican fireworks because these are 2 fat ass Mexicans. Because they're gonna try to sell this fight to us by saying Mexicans, when they fight, you get fireworks. Yeah, I remember they said the same thing for Canelo against Julio Chavez Jr. And you guys know how that fucking went.
They should have a fatal 4-way between some bantamweights and sell it like, okay, now we're gonna have 2 heavyweights in there. They weighed more
Exactly.
than the 4 bantamweight.
Yeah, that make more fucking sense.
I had picked Povetkin.
Oh, get out of here! Get out of here! When did you say that?
He picked He picked
I'm joking.
Povetkin in the middle rounds. I thought he was gonna knock him out like in the 11th. I
Okay.
even put it on Rivals channel. The thing, you know what? It was a great punch.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought Povetkin, yes, he was playing possum. What I found strange, as opposed to your line of thinking, I found strange that Povetkin went down 2 times. But then I said to myself, well, yeah, Dillian Whyte, he's got power in that left hand. But I actually thought that Povetkin was playing possum, and I found it strange that he went down 2 times. But then to my surprise, he knocked him out. It was a beautiful shot, uppercut. And the reason, yeah, it kind of goes along with him playing possum because he was going a lot to the body early. And he kind of disguised the punches if he was like going downstairs. It's like similar to what Canelo did to how he fights. You know, he throws the body shot, but then this time he went upstairs.
Yeah.
He changed it up.
But come on, it appeared as if the fight was taking its natural course, right? The favorite was gonna win. Povetkin gets dropped. You know, it was taking that course, right?
He got a little too comfortable, man. That I was about to give him kudos for being composed because he's not that fluid, but he puts it together and he was being composed and he was somewhat fluid, but he just got that lull where he got the guy down and he didn't think about, okay, this other guy's gonna punch me back. It is a heavyweight division. He just started trading shots, and Povetkin is slow, and they were alluding to the fact that he's older and he's slower. But it was still early in the fight. He just changed levels, you know. Doesn't mean he can't be quick. He just Dillian Whyte got too comfortable, man. And what Povetkin had to do was just change levels, go fast, and go upstairs, and that's what he did.
Shit. All right, guys, we got a phone call. Let's take a phone call. Who's on the line?
Dying to see this now.
You gotta watch.
Hello.
Yeah, Kenshiro.
Hey, BDA, how you doing, man?
Bucho, go ahead.
Bucho, sorry. Yeah, well, what can we say? I was talking the other day. I mean, I thought it was silly of Dillian Whyte to take this fight. And now obviously he's come about that he's obviously gone right down to the bottom. I think I was reading on the internet just now that Povetkin might be next in line for Tyson Fury. I don't know, the LDBC might be crying now, but in the day, I don't know why Dillian Whyte personally took it. I don't know if he needed to take it, but what an idiot for taking it.
I know. It's true though. I don't know if he didn't need to take it and he took it, then fuck, he's gonna regret this maybe for the rest of his life.
Okay, I just saw it. Oof, that was a rough one, man. That was a rough uppercut.
Jesus. Shaz in the chat says rematch clause. Is there a rematch clause? Guys, do you know if there's a rematch clause?
No, not for an interim title. I wouldn't think so.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there was
interim
a
title put you in position for the title shot. It's not gonna be like, okay, you won, but then there's gonna be a rematch to decide who gets the title opportunity. You can't do that 2 times. It's like fucking double jeopardy. You can't do that. The guy that gets picked for that mandatory opportunity got to get the mandatory opportunity.
So that was the first time Whyte got dropped in the fight too.
Yeah.
Because I just saw just the knockout. So yeah,
Povetkin went down, and then that was the only time, and the last time.
It was a true one timer. Damn.
The ref didn't even count. I was like, damn, what the fuck? Well, I mean, the way he fell.
Because the way his legs, he had the straight up like stickman legs, straight ahead.
Yeah.
Totally
Jesus,
stiff.
we got a lot of phone calls here.
Whacked his head on the rope.
Kenshiro, go ahead. Anything else?
No. Well, obviously now, I've not been funny. Dillian Whyte, God, I mean, look, he was undefeated for so long, and he still wasn't getting a shot. And now this has seriously dented this thing, and I just think now he's an idiot. And he potentially now he might be the sort of aspect of going the way of Wilder now, where he might not come back to get another shot ever again.
I mean, it's possible. It also depends on what happens with these other heavyweights, Dubois, Usyk. I mean, they might take precedence, right? They might take precedence. They might take what's the word I'm looking for? They might get the fights before Dylan Whyte. So
yeah, and obviously Wilder's not like a 21-year-old kid, you know. But not Wilder. Dylan Whyte's not like a 21-year-old kid. So yeah.
And it's funny because Kenshiro, you mentioned this. Remember, well, you asked the question: what will happen with Dylan Whyte if he loses this fight, right? Because he's now maybe out of the picture for a long time. He's all the way back at the end of the line.
Yeah, I mean, how old is he? Like 31 or something? Unfortunately, I can't check my Google while I'm talking to you, but I think he's early 30s. I mean, I might be wrong. So God knows, how time's going to bypass it. Is he going to wait that long again now to get another shot? Especially if the organizations are messing him about. Well, they're still messing him about, fighting losing. So
yeah.
God knows what's going to happen now.
That's right. We'll wait and see. Hey, listen, Kenshiro, I'm going to take more phone calls.
As you said,
call back again later. I'm going to post a StreamYard link as well, so you can jump on. All right?
Yeah, when you do, I'll jump on that. Thank you, my friend. Stay safe, guys.
All right, thanks for calling, Kenshiro. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Let's take another phone call. 314, you're on the air, 314.
Man, was that crazy.
Yeah.
Who saw that coming?
Did you?
No, I didn't see that coming.
Okay.
No, hell no, I didn't see that coming. And I feel bad for Dylan Whyte because, I mean, I like both of them, but Povetkin's old. Like, Povetkin might get a title shot, whatever. But this was a younger guy who this wholly derails him for at least 3 or 4 years. He's been derailed for 2 years already. And I don't know where he goes next. If nobody would fight Whyte before this, who's going to fight Whyte, I think it really screws Whyte's prospects up. Unless it's like for food.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So what do you think's gonna happen next? I mean, do you want if you could make this fight, would you make Whyte against Deontay Wilder, and then maybe have?
Oh, I would make that in a heartbeat. And I actually used to think that Whyte was going to do the same thing to Wilder that Klitschko did, or not Klitschko,
Fury.
That Fury did. I thought he had that same game plan.
Interesting.
But shoot, now I don't know about his shin to it's Fury also has that height to help him with it. I mean, you can pressure a lot easier if you're 4 inches taller. So.
Yeah. So man. So what was your prediction? Before, obviously.
On this fight?
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking Whyte by points, honestly. I thought it was going to be kind of like Povetkin Hunter, where they kind of split rounds. And it was in Eddie Hearn's backyard, so I figured they would give it to Whyte.
Yeah. Well, Jesus, yeah. So this must have been a shocker. Well, it was a shocker for everybody except Gonzalo. Apparently, Gonzalo predicted this correctly. Well, I'm gonna have to check on that prediction because I don't believe him. I'm joking. So fuck. Okay. So hey, caller.
4 of them, and they'll just tell you this one now.
Caller, aren't you happy because now Dylan Whyte doesn't have to fight Tyson Fury, and now we can get Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua?
Well, see, that's the other side of it. It's like I feel bad for Whyte. There's so many storylines here that I do love that. I am all about getting this undisputed fight.
Mm-hmm.
And if this pushes Whyte, I just liked Whyte because I thought Whyte had the best resume the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for the guy because he didn't punk out and fight tomato cans waiting for his spot. He already had the spot and he defended it. And I appreciate that. But I also don't want him holding up stuff. It's like Usyk. I'm getting kind of aggravated with Usyk. Like he's sitting on his spot after Pulev. Hey, buddy, you got to fight some people to keep your spot while this other stuff gets figured out. You might be 2 fights down the road.
Right. Right. Well, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. But man, listen, thanks for calling. We have other phone calls, but great call, man. Call back again.
All right, thanks.
I see ya.
You can't feel too bad for the guy because this is boxing. This is what we ultimately want to see. We want to see the competitive fights, right? Two top guys.
That's true, though. I mean, we can, feel bad. I mean, well, you can.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
can't. This can't become a soap opera that we feel bad for this guy and he deserves to keep his spot because ultimately I want to see a matchup against this guy and play it out like we want. No, it's not like fantasy matchup.
that's a good point. I mean, it is life, right? I mean, I think Dylan Whyte, if he really deserved the shot, he could have pushed for it. I don't think he really pushed for it. He just talked a lot, but didn't press the issue. And this is what happens when you drag something. Yeah.
He dropped the guy 2 times. He was doing well. He came in shape. Everything still kind of remains the same. He's a solid fighter. Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, and Wilder have lost themselves. Only Tyson Fury is the one that remains undefeated. So, yeah.
And by the way, if you can't beat Povetkin, then maybe you don't deserve a title shot. I'm not saying Povetkin is some sort of bomb, but he's certainly not the same Povetkin from 5-10 years ago. So, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe he doesn't deserve a fight with Joshua. He doesn't deserve to have the right to stop us from watching a unification fight. All right? That's basically it. All right, let's take a phone call. 917, you're on the air. 917.
Yo, what's happening, everybody?
What's up, man? What's on your mind?
Yo, man, what's up? You hate to see it. The biggest L of the weekend goes to Dillian Whyte. After all that you have done, Eddie Hearn is also, Eddie Hearn is pissed off right now.
Oh.
I actually, I had Dillian Whyte winning, and I thought that if it went to decision, I feel like Eddie Hearn would have tried to post some BS and try to give him the W.
Yeah.
Just like how he did with Casey Taylor. Extremely suspicious. I don't like what I saw from what happened with Casey Taylor just now. All right, I didn't like that at all. But that was crazy because now it's looking really slow for Dillian Whyte. And I also want to bring up. I know you guys might not want to hear this, but I gotta bring it up. So everyone is shitting on used to shit on Wilder fighting old men. Now Dillian Whyte just got beat by some old ass dude. So I hope they don't. I hope they hold him to the same standard.
Well, I mean, who's more dangerous, Luis Ortiz or Povetkin?
All right, fine. Now listen, Povetkin is more dangerous, but Ortiz is also dangerous though. They're both dangerous. Povetkin, I think he's definitely a bigger threat. But still, man, he lost.
Yeah, he was a 4-1 favorite.
And he took
You're right.
He took steroids to fight Wilder, by the way.
You think so?
Alleged, yeah. That's why the fight didn't happen. Remember a few years back, Wilder was going to go to Russia, and the fight couldn't happen because Povetkin, he failed on some bullshit, and the fight couldn't happen.
Right. I thought you were talking about somebody else, but yeah, you're right about that. All right. All right. So, but again, you have to be happy, right? We're gonna get Fury against Joshua.
And where was Stu? I think we were just all talking like 2 days ago. Stu said, if you can't beat Povetkin, you gotta retire. He said, if this man, you can't go in and beat a 40-year-old Povetkin, you shouldn't even be in the ring. Something like that. He said something like that, right? You guys remember?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get Stu in here. Yeah, man. He's probably drunk right now, or.
God damn, he's giving Stu the voice too. If you can beat
we need Stu, man. Stu, if you're listening, jump on, man. All right, caller. Anything else?
Oh yeah. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the Delphine Persoon decision, man? Do you guys think she got it this time or no?
No. No, it's because look. She fights kind of similar. I'll make a good comparison. Like maybe Antonio Margarito, pressure fighter. All right, that's gonna fucking break you down, but she only gets two 10-minute rounds, which is an equivalent of 20 minutes compared to a 36-minute 12-round fight. For the guys, this is like a 7-round fight. So for her style, she don't get all the opportunity to break the fighter down in 20 minutes. So even though, I mean, if this would have been a 12-round, 3-minute fight, yeah, she would have been able to break the other fighter down, but she just doesn't have that time to do that. So the other girl, she ran too much and he popped shot, and so she won a points victory because she's a better boxer.
The fight took place in a mansion, Eddie Hearn's mansion. I don't know if it's the family, whatever. If Eddie Hearn lives there, when he wakes up, he's gonna look at his backyard. He's gonna look at his backyard and go like, "Oh fuck, I forgot about this shit." Dylan Whyte losing.
It was actually the best setup that I've seen so far. With that background music and the lights, that bubble was the best.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, I like the presentation a lot. That's something they really did right. Like that's, I normally don't like the zone, but then this time around they did it right, better than anyone when it comes to the background, the aesthetics, and they did it right this time.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, hey caller, man, thanks for calling. All right, call back again.
All right, man. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy. Peace.
All right, we got another phone call. 719. You're on the air. 719. The fuck is
your boy got knocked out cold, bro?
Wait, which boy, man? My boy.
Was ducking who? Wilder was ducking who?
Oh, he was ducking a lot of people. He was ducking Joshua.
The motherfucker that got laid out by a 50-year-old, bro, it's over.
No, it's
Wilder ducked Povetkin, bro.
Walker ducked Povetkin. Come on, man. Come on. I think we can laugh at both of them.
How you duck somebody that took PEDs and got pulled out of the fight?
No, he didn't. Didn't he go to court?
This is the ignorance. That fight has nothing to do with this fight, man. The guy had him down 2 times, and he landed a monster of a perfect punch.
Correct, too.
He should have kept him down with the 2 times he put him down.
Hey, don't you want to see...
I ain't see Povetkin do that to Michael Hunter.
That's a good point. Caller, what do you think is going to happen next? I mean, are you happy that this happened? Because now we can see Fury against Joshua instead of, them waiting.
No, I'm not happy, to be honest, but it's funny as hell.
Oh, okay.
I wanted Fury to face. I wanted to see Fury versus Whyte, but not now.
Why?
What's the fucking point? If you get knocked out by Povetkin.
Sounds like you don't like Dylan Whyte.
For the rematch.
Hey, why didn't you like Dylan Whyte?
Who said I didn't like Dylan Whyte?
No, I don't know. You're laughing at the fact that he got stopped, knocked out.
Yeah, it's hilarious. This the guy they say Wilder was ducking for 1,000 days. That guy.
Wilder just got destroyed, man.
To face Wilder.
I mean, Wilder just got destroyed. I don't know. I think it'd be an interesting fight. Dylan Whyte against Wilder. Why not?
Yeah, look.
Both are, both just got destroyed.
I'd rather get destroyed by Tyson Fury than a 40-year-old, a 50-year-old Povetkin.
I think Povetkin should fight. No. I think Povetkin. Okay, go ahead.
At least Povetkin. No, at least Whyte. He got knocked out. He got knocked out cold. There's little you could do about that. Whereas Wilder, he just took a straight whooping. You could see in his eyes he was mentally finished. He didn't want to continue. They threw in the towel. He was getting brutalized.
Nah, that triangle bullshit's fucking whacked because, I mean, you might not like the guy, but he's got a way, way better resume than Deontay Wilder.
What do you think about that?
Who got a better resume than
Whyte?
What, Dylan Whyte?
Yeah.
Dude, what's Wilder's best win? A draw against Fury?
What's his best win?
Wait, don't mention age, because Ortiz is 50 himself. Okay.
What is his?
And that's his only top 10 win aside from the draw with Fury.
His best win, you got Joseph Parker, two Derek Chisoras.
Helenius is a solid fighter who's coming off a victory.
What's his best win?
Rivas,
Kaunaki guy.
That's right.
Oscar Rivas. Fucking Lucas Brown, knockout of the year. He dropped Povetkin 2 times. Povetkin landed the perfect shot.
All right. Let's let the caller say something. Caller, what do you want to say?
I asked 50 times, what is Dillian Whyte's best win?
What is Dillian Whyte's best win, guys?
I ain't playing that shit. Go look at Box Rick, man.
You ain't. You just named.
Okay, well, let me.
Come on, man. Come on. What's Dillian
Whyte-
Whyte's best win? It's just a combination of his top 10 fucking opponents or top 15.
So,
back to back
so
for the
basically,
last
you
few
answered the
fucking
question.
years.
I got you. Never mind, bro. Never
All
mind.
right. I'm gonna say
all right.
Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker.
Joseph Parker.
Yes.
And what's Joseph Parker's best win?
Okay. Well, hold on. You asked me a question. I'm gonna ask you a question. So, what's Wilder's best win?
I said, what's Joseph Parker's best win?
No. I asked you what's Wilder's
Robbery in
best
his
win?
hometown?
Wilder. What's his best win?
What's Wilder's best win?
Yes.
I would say
Oops.
Ortiz, the boogeyman.
Okay, Ortiz. All right. So now you ask me a question. What's Joseph
And
Parker's
Ortiz-
best win? Hold on. Andy Ruiz.
bet
Andy
anybody-
Ruiz. Hold on. Andy Ruiz is Joseph Parker's best win. Now, what's Luis Ortiz's best win?
You said Ortiz's best win?
Yeah.
Ortiz's best win, I would say, is Brian Jennings.
Well, you have to say that because there's nothing
which
else.
Is Dillian Whyte's best.
There's nothing else in there.
Best win. Dillian Whyte best win is Oscar fucking Rivas. That's what y'all was trying to avoid. And what's Oscar Rivas' best win? Brian
What?
Jennings, a fucking older version of
No,
Brian
I never
Jennings.
said Oscar Rivas. All right. Anyways, caller. We gotta move on. We had another phone call, but call back again later if you want. All right.
Maximum silence.
What?
No, it's
We
not just
answered the
about
question.
one win. It's about facing top guy after top guy after top guy.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. All right.
This is some advanced triangle shit.
yeah.
Thanks, Pythagoras. Get out of here.
All right, caller. I don't know what this number is. Fucking long. Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hello. You're on the air.
Can you hear me there, brother?
Yes,
Can you hear me
sir.
right now, yeah?
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, safe. I'm calling from London. So it was a very good fight for what it was when it came down to it. I heard Dillian Whyte the other day saying when he fought Marius Wack, he was basically saying that I took it. I was overweight then at that point, but then I controlled the fight. And I think that's what he thought he was doing tonight. I think he thought he was controlling the fight, and he was obviously not Povetkin down twice. But then he wasn't actually controlling the fight. He was controlling the speed to the speed that Povetkin wanted it. And then when that hit come in, he got knocked out. And when the guy was saying, what was he saying, maximum silence, that's Dillian Whyte with his, he's got his tops, maximum violence. He's for maximum violence and all that sort of stuff. It was a good fight. To be honest, it took my legs from under me, mate. I'll tell you that, because I was not happy with it. But at the same time, it is a win. But it does change the heavyweight scene from where we go on now. What happens with that now is basically, boy, they got the mandatory and they can do what the fuck they want with it. So Povetkin, he ain't fighting soon. They're gonna say, oh yeah. It was gonna be, what was it, February that he was gonna have to fight AJ, but now it's not gonna be that. Is it gonna push that back? The mandatory goes back into the distance. We're going to have, as long as AJ gets through Pulev, which, well, you never know, you know what I mean? These old men are beating up these geezers now, isn't it? Then we're going to have a unified fight, and that is something that is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, I would like to see the fight with Whyte and Fury, to be honest, because Fury's a big old tree trunk, and if you work into the body, he's going to feel it, and AJ don't go to the body too much. That's the difference as well. So, I don't know, you've got some good... I love your show, man, I must say as well, man. What did you rate of the fight, though, brother?
Well, hold on. Before I get to that, I just read somewhere on Twitter, breaking news, basically. Steve Kim from ESPN is saying Eddie Hearn announces that Dillian Whyte has a rematch clause versus Povetkin that he will be enforcing by the end of the year. So there you have it. I think we're going to have a rematch as soon as possible.
I don't understand that, because if you win the mandatory position based off the interim title, you get that. It's not like, all right, you're going to see if you get it again or lose the opportunity.
It's a contract.
And you will get that.
Weird.
Unless you have a rematch clause, and then that rematch clause will it's up to the is it the WB who's the is it WBO?
Yeah,
No, WBC.
the WBC.
It will be up to it's WC. It'll be up to them if they actually apply the mandatory position to that rematch, and whether that has already been agreed now or later. But at the moment, if it's not agreed to that, then what will happen is like somebody was saying, Eddie Hearn will be so angry. The fact is, Eddie Hearn manages and promotes AJ. He promotes Dillian Whyte.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually better in his interest if it's AJ that is the only person that's there in the room, shall we say, who's in there for all the belts. Dillian Whyte is a bump in the road for him. It's a profitable bump, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's more profitable to get him out the fucking way and get that massive mega fight on, stick it in Saudi Arabia and fucking cane everybody's money out for that, mate. I'll tell you that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm
point.
a bit shocked I'm shocked to hear that about the rematch, but at the same time, from when Dillian Whyte, he's not stupid, yeah. So when he was offered the fight with AJ before, wasn't he? He had the fight with AJ 5 years ago, but then in the last year and a half, he was offered the fight with AJ. They said, all right, but we'll give you 30%. I think it's 30-40% of the profits. Well, there's a set thing, and then it's 40% or whatever, and then it's 30%, I think, and then what you will get if you win on the rematch, you'll get the same. You'll get 30%, and that is why he would not do it, and that's why he's like, "Fuck you! I got down the mandatory." Sorry, my language. He said, "Be gone, you demons! I got down the mandatory route. Therefore, there is no sort of rematch." Sort of thing sat down on there every time you have to say, because mandatories you fight, you don't necessarily have to have a rematch. Apparently this one did, because apparently Eddie Hearn's got his noggin on, and also I understood that Povetkin had a 3-match revival deal with AJ, well not with AJ, with Matchroom, and this was his 3rd one tonight. So that obviously explains why that might have been, they put that in the contract. But both of them boys have taken a massive hit on their payday doing this in the lockdown. So you've got to give them respect. And a thing with that as well is that the fact is, he might have got a whooping tonight. The thing is, he didn't even get a whooping. He just got knocked out, sparko, flat. And that, as they say, is the heavyweight decision. Anybody can get hit.
Absolutely. Hey, great call, man. Hey, call back again next time, all right?
Yeah, I appreciate your time. Take care.
Thank you. Good call. All right, let's take another phone call. 216, you're on the air. 216. 216. You're on the air. Going once. Going. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, you there? Can you hear us? All right, he hung up.
I think he's underwater.
I know. All right, guys. We also have G Boogie. Go ahead, guys. G Boogie, what do you think about what we just fucking witnessed?
I thought that was a masterful old man showing technique, because he saw that Dillian Whyte, every time he covered his right hand when he was throwing that left hook to the face, and then he will dip forward. And when that situation happened, Whyte did the same thing, and Povetkin was going to throw the hook, but then he changed it up, pivot, and boom, threw that uppercut. That was masterful.
That was a punch that he drove from the bottom of his legs, kind of like he was going to turn a punch to the body, just drove it up.
Yes.
Right to the chin.
Because if you saw it, he was leaning to the left while Dillian leaned forward, covering his right side. So he thought Povetkin was going to throw that left hook because everybody know that's what Povetkin do. But he underestimated, he overstepped forward, and that's when Povetkin saw it, and he was like, I'm going to catch him. Bow! And it was night. That was night. That was perfect technique.
Do you feel bad for Dillian Whyte, as many people do?
I feel bad for anybody that lost, but you know what? This is boxing. This is prize. He's going to have losses. But if he had a rematch clause, which I believe he does, because Eddie Hearn is a masterful negotiator, he's going to implement that, and he's going to, okay, this is what I did wrong. He was outclassing Dillian Whyte from distance, and he was catching all his stuff. You know, they had some parts there that they both was exchanging, but he was winning the fight like handily. So I gave it what was it? I think I gave it 4th round. He got knocked down. Povetkin, and he also got knocked down on the other one, or two times in 1 round. So yeah, so he was winning the fight. He was winning it handily, but he just slept because he kept on doing that same pattern. And I said it on one of the on Mark's thing. He better watch out for that left uppercut. Next thing you know, boom, 4th, 5th round, here it comes. Bow.
That's actually spot on, G Boogie. Because look, one thing that I was giving him credit for, I thought he was being very composed. So before I used to think, you know, Dillian Whyte, he's not really fluid, but okay, he's putting it together, but he's composed to where he got a little lackadaisical because he was controlling the fight, knocked the guy down 2 times, and they were saying that Povetkin was looking like really slow, his age, but all of a sudden he switched it up. He went from an old man to a young man in 1 punch.
Well, I think he stood the old man because each time he went after the 2nd round, he went to his corner. He was breathing real heavy, and then everybody knows the last thing to go from a fighter is his power. So
and especially if you've been down 2 times in the canvas and you're thinking to yourself, you know, this guy's gonna knock me out because I'm old. And I'm going to tire out. You know, might as well go for broke. And when the fighter's hurt, that's when he's most dangerous. And the guy with his experience said, might as well fucking go for the gusto.
You got to understand, he underestimated his intentional fortitude and the power that he still possessed.
And I thought from the beginning, you know what, Povetkin, he like shake my hand. And Dillian Whyte was like, no, I don't want to shake your hand. Then at the end of the round, he was like, shake my hand, you know, like dab it up. I thought that Povetkin was playing possum to a certain extent.
It could be, man. That's a great point.
No, for real. That's a great example of that. Is y'all see the UFC fight with that fucking I don't know one guy's name, but the other dude was the Korean Zombie, and they had like a fucking long fight. It kept going. Literally, it was like a last-second knockout. But basically, that's what the dude was doing. He was losing the fight. And they were having a brawl, and the crowd was so into it that one guy starts doing the thing. Hey, he puts his hand up, and the crowd starts cheering. So his opponent does the same thing, you know? And then, you know, they're dapping, and they're, like, being real friendly. They're like, okay, we just had a brawl. Everybody's happy. And then, cracked him with one right at the fucking end, when he was all relaxed. But so G Boogie, because I just watched the fight myself while you guys were talking. But it was on, you know, how on YouTube sometimes they got to show it all zoomed in to avoid the copyright, so you don't get a totally good view. But G-Boogie, you talking about the pattern Whyte was throwing he was throwing the straight right followed by the left hook?
Well, in his jabs, every time he jabbed out, he threw his jab. And then he knew on the retaliation of Povetkin, he was anticipating that overhand left coming on his right side. So he used to throw his gloves up there. And then what he did was in that 5th round, you know, because they just finished getting a break, and then he threw that jab out there. He caught him. He was like, okay, I'm going to slip and throw him, and then I'm going to try to shoot a body shot or something. And he thought when he threw that jab and he stepped forward with his right foot and was getting ready to throw that left body shot, that's when Povetkin did a check left hook and went to throw the left hook, but then he changed it up in that same momentum. He threw the uppercut up. Put all his power in that bitch.
That was a perfect timing, man. And that's what you said. That's like the craftiness. You know, he knew, hey, I got knocked down. The fight is going to start going downhill for me pretty soon. So you know what? This is physically, I'm at my top right now as I'm going to get from this point on in the fight. So here we go. And he just, less than a minute of the next round, he got him.
That's right.
Shit, I thought Dillian Whyte's left hook was awesome. You know, a little short left hook. He dropped Povetkin, but you know, fucking Povetkin's left hook was to the second power. It was like fucking 2 times as powerful.
And now, what did the knockdowns look like for Povetkin? Because once again, my YouTube video feed that I was watching was like, you know, zoomed in and shit. So the first one, it looked like he took a knee.
No, that was a flash knockdown.
No,
he got
was
hit with
knockdown.
a clean punch.
Clean punch.
He wasn't hurt.
Fell on his knee, basically. It looked like he took a knee, but nah, he was a legit knockdown.
The second one was a nice check hook left. He was coming into him, and then Dillian just took a little step and boom, quick shot.
Yeah, it was like an upper hook.
Yeah.
Or like an uppercut.
Oh, yeah, I was going up a little bit. Guys, we have a phone call. I don't know what this is. 5561. You're on the air. Yep, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
How you guys doing, you guys? Yeah, great fight, huh?
Amazing. What do you think about it?
I thought it was a great fight. I think this is what boxing needs, because over the last 5 years, there was just too many joke fights. You know, I was looking at it earlier today before this fight, and I was looking at it. You know, when you had like Danny Garcia fighting nobody, you had, you know, all these sorts of fights where people were having like 30, 40 sort of, you know, learning fights. I think it's good the top 10 should just be fighting each other from now on. Everybody should be finishing their career with a couple of losses. Take it back to the old days, you know, the 90s heavyweight division.
Good point. That's a good point. Now, but Dillian Whyte, I mean, he didn't just lose to he lost to a 40-something year old, right? He was very close to getting that title shot. So, I mean, there's losses and then there's like disappointing losses. Like, you know, like he shouldn't have lost to Povetkin, basically.
No, 100%. He shouldn't be losing to Povetkin. But at the same time, I think what happened was, I think he had him down twice. I think he got complacent. And at this level, especially with Povetkin, with it was like a left sort of uppercut hook, but with Povetkin's left hook, it just takes one, and you're out. You switch off for 2 seconds in the heavyweight division against anyone in the top 10, and it's good night, and that's what happened.
Yeah, that's a good point. What do you think about the rematch? Apparently, Eddie Hearn says that he wants the rematch by the end of the year.
Yeah, I think he'll be looking for the rematch. I mean, nobody's going to be more annoyed than Eddie Hearn. I mean, he's been banking on Dillian Whyte for years, you know, paying for, even when Dillian Whyte wasn't really a big name, not really a big draw, you know, he was banking on him, paying for him to stay active, paying for him to fight, you know, top 15 guys to stay in the rankings and keep his mandatory spot, get his mandatory spot. So, yeah, I think Eddie Hearn's going to do everything he can to get that fight back on.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. Anything else you want to say?
No, just first time listening to the show, thought I'd call in. I really respect what you guys are doing, and thanks for doing good work for boxing. You guys have a great night.
All right, take care. Good call. All right, Mr. BDA, you there? Yep.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Fantastic. Hello, everybody. Good to be on. It's interesting, man. That's the heavyweight division for you. Everybody's a puncher. Now, this guy, he was losing the fight, Povetkin, obviously, not only with the knockdowns, but with he was getting outlanded, basically, and that jab, he was snapping his head back, and I thought, okay, it's only a matter of time. And then boom, he pulls out that left uppercut. But that left uppercut was only possible thanks to the feints. Okay, because if it wasn't for the feints, he wouldn't have been able to. He was leading with right hands, overhand rights, and then going to the body with left hook, and that's what Whyte was looking for. But there were two stories in this fight. Whyte was landing the cleaner shots, okay, but Povetkin was the one that was making him react to the feints. You know what I mean? So, okay, hold on a second. Give me 2 seconds here. Yeah, he was the one reacting to the feints. So, in other words, Whyte was the... jeez, Luis. 2 seconds.
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, his mic's fucking up. All right, guys, I'm opening StreamYard. So if you want to join us through StreamYard as well. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, well, just that. I mean, it was the story of two fights, and Whyte was the one that was reacting to every time Povetkin fainted. It was just that Povetkin wasn't landing anything clean upstairs. And even after a while, he was getting outboxed to the body, if you can even call it that, outbox. I mean, he used to be landing shots under the elbows of Whyte. Then Whyte started landing some bombs to the body, and that's when I thought, okay, Whyte is buying the feints, but Povetkin is not being able to capitalize on it. And then boom, that left uppercut. Just goes to show you, man, Whyte was doing everything right except for buying the feints, and then it cost him. So I don't know. Now you're saying there's going to be a rematch. If there's a rematch, by the way, I picked Whyte to win this fight by close decision. I thought it was going to be close. But if the rematch happens, let me tell you, I'm putting money on Whyte, because I think unless he gets caught with another bomb, I still think Whyte gets the best of him.
Will he pull a Joshua Ruiz performance? Go ahead, Gonzalo.
He got caught with a punch that he didn't see coming, because right before that, I thought to myself, you know how there's some guys that you can hit, but you can't even move them, and there's some guys that you can punch and you can move them all around. I thought that Whyte is pretty thick-skinned, like very solid. When he was getting hit to the body, you couldn't even shake the guy. You couldn't even shake his core foundation. He looked rattled. But when he got hit with that shot upstairs, which was a perfect punch, man, did the guy go down even before he hit the canvas.
Hold on. I'm trying to fix the chat because apparently it's not scrolling. So you guys keep the show
going. So in other words, what I'm trying to say, if the rematch happens, I agree, Mr. BDA. I think that Whyte expects to be more cautious to something going upstairs.
But that's the thing, Gonzalo. He was being cautious because after he dropped him in the first time, he didn't jump on him, because he knew he was dangerous. And even then, that's boxing. It's like you can do almost everything right, and if the other guy just does something right for a split second, that's the heavyweight division for you. But it's interesting though, also because now we're gonna be looking at a fight like Povetkin as if he's a big ass puncher, which isn't really. It's just this time he just landed the perfect punch. By the way, did you see Dillian Whyte's eyes when in that replay when he after the uppercut, like when he started falling, he was out.
Yeah.
Watch the
that's
replay
what the
again.
referees,
His eyes, he was out.
Yeah, the referee immediately stopped the fight. Hey guys, let me just take a phone call because it's from the UK, so let's take it quickly. 4478, you're on the air. What's 78? Yeah.
Hey, I forgot to mention earlier that one thing we have forgot about this fight is that actually Dillian Whyte's trainer for the last 5 years is not the one that he had with this fight. So he was training in Portugal for the last 5 months. He went there to basically, it was just happenstance, shall we say, that he was over there training. He was out there with Tibbsy, who was his actual trainer for the last 5 years. The man has created what he is and the way he's going. And then what's been happening since then was that the fact that he brought that family, Tibbs family over there and all that. And he was still opening his own gym back in the UK, so he couldn't actually stay out there. So he was expecting a call at 8 weeks, and he never got that call. And then eventually his solicitor, shall we say, or lawyer, phoned up Tibbsy and said, "No, you're not coming out, mate. Sorry about that, bruv. We got this other geezer that you also have been training with him as well, who's not actually to the level of yourself, shall we say, and now you're going to have to do that fight, which is fine. But you got to remember that if you it's a change, isn't it? That's the thing. It is a change. If you're fighting with someone, if you got that for 5 years, that same person in your corner, he's your boy, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, that might have been.
Wait a minute, caller. Are you saying without the change of trainer?
The other side of things is that they actually brought in Adam Booth as well, like 5 days before, to come and stand in the corner as well. You know, Adam Booth, the trainer, obviously, and he stood in the corner as well tonight, and he started. Apparently, from what I was hearing when I was listening to certain things on different platforms, shall we say, he was actually giving directions from round 1 in what Dillian Whyte should be doing, and he's not been on that camp. He's just.
But caller.
There's a question for you. Go ahead, Mr. BDA.
Yeah, shouldn't we be giving a little credit to Povetkin, because I mean he was the one, like I said earlier, Whyte was buying the feints. You know, it was happening all inside the ring. Whether he had a different trainer or not, he would have still been buying the feints, most likely.
I give Povetkin every credit for that. Because you know what I was thinking? You know what, second, third round, I was thinking, oh my God, he's gone. He's too tired. He's too old. And then he come out with that magnificent shot. But what you're thinking about there is a man who has been fighting, 15, 19 years professionally, all right? And he's been weighing the same weight every year for every fight. He's almost exactly the same weight. That man, he was on point. He studies the art. He is an Olympic champion. Dillian Whyte, he's had 23 fights, and he was 21 fights with the kickboxing and all that. But kickboxing is different.
No, I think Dillian Whyte has come into his own because the resume he got, fighting 12 years, he's a pretty solid. He's a solid heavyweight.
That was an
top
amazing
10
shot. Sorry, say again.
And Povetkin, you know what, Povetkin, I'm gonna go a little further. I'm gonna give him credit for this performance and the last performance against not a very big heavyweight, but definitely active young heavyweight that throws a lot of punches. So I'm gonna give him credit. I'm gonna go ahead and say that he's not that old for heavyweight. Although he's 41, he's not that old.
Oh no. He's 40, isn't he? But either way, it doesn't matter how old he is because he still has the tactical ability. That's the thing. He has certain panache. He's a gold medal Olympian, isn't he? I believe from back in the day, and he is something that he's always a threat. That's the reason he's been in the top 10 for this many years. You know what I mean?
You can make a case that his punch resistance has gone down, but then again, if you look at the other guys, even the young guys, what do you got to speak about their resistance? Whyte himself, Joshua, and other guys that
I'm not
gone down to the
saying
cameras.
his resistance has gone down at all in any way, shape, or form, because then you've got the big boys that have been around for many years.
Hey,
what to the oldest heavyweight in the world? You know what I mean? This is like George. Obviously, I'm not saying against George Foreman in any way, shape, or form, but you know what I mean? There are other boys out there that can take a punch and can still give it. And the thing is, he's got the skills. What happens with him? He's got the skills, and then he also has the those couple of seconds where he can be exceedingly nimble, shall we say, and boom, like a stag, mate. Not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all beautiful stuff.
All right, G Boogie, go ahead.
Yeah.
Caller, I have a question for you. Do you think Alexander Povetkin was thinking about what's his name?
Fury?
What's that? Huh? No, the trainer, his old trainer. Shit!
I think Povetkin was an established entity, and he was actually somebody that was actually fighting. Well, he did. He's had Teddy Atlas as a trainer. He's had various trainers. All he's doing is he wants to be a winner. That's what he's doing.
Hey, caller. So, what do you think? Did Povetkin was thinking about Teddy Atlas when he was saying, "Do it for your father. Do it for your father."
Yeah, he should have slapped him Yeah, he should have slapped. He should have been corner, innit? But that would have happened. He would have been in the corner for Whyte there because that boy got knocked the fuck out. That's cool. You see his eyes? My lord, his eyes. That was something else.
Hey, caller, man, we gotta move on. We got other phone calls, but thanks.
Fan, you know what I mean?
Hey, caller, we gotta move on, man. We have other phone calls, but thanks for calling. All right.
Yeah. Bless you. Have a good evening, gents.
Take care. All right, another phone call. 929. You're on the air. 929.
Good evening, guys. It's Virtuoso. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man? So, what do you think about the fight?
Man, I mean, that was. First of all, I just want to give congrats to Dylan Whyte. He fought his fight. You know, it was great until that point. I kind of feel bad, because all the hard work he had, for 3 years trying to legitimize a mandatory status that Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and ultimately the WBC didn't respect. But when I learned that supposedly he's getting a rematch that Hearn is going to push for, I mean, yeah, but like you're just going to kick the can further down the road because they're still not going to, there's still time for him, for Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury to set up a rematch. Now that they're gonna push a rematch now. But man, I'm not here to second guess. I picked Dylan Whyte to knock out Povetkin. I mean, he had him down twice, but Povetkin is to me just wow, amazing fighter. The way he set up that punch. First of all, it's like I think he feinted a hook and then dipped the shoulder around to crank up that uppercut. And the way he fell is just so dramatic. It's like that to me is the knockout of the year. So yeah, shout out to Povetkin, man. That dude is still a killer, man. He's still effective. He made gold, but he's still effective.
Yeah. In the chat, somebody's complaining about somebody not giving Povetkin credit, I think, or saying he's not a top fighter. What do you guys think? Is he a top fighter? I guess because some people are saying that he's old, and so they're kind of dismissing him, but he did beat Whyte. Go ahead, Gonzalo.
Of course, everything in life is not so black and white. There's a middle ground. If you remember, Nonito Onaide, he didn't have the greatest performances after having a great career against Rigandao and maybe the Jackal. All right? The guy from Ireland. But then again, he came back and had a very good fight against Inoue. Okay, so fighters, although they might be shot, they still can come around. I'm not saying that Povetkin is shot, can still come around and give us great performances. And I think Povetkin is a top caliber fighter, and he's giving us two good performances. The last thing to go is power, and certainly with age, you gain experience. And at the heavyweight division, 41 is not as 41 like the welterweights. It's just a little different.
Good point.
Absolutely.
Great point.
I agree.
Virtuoso, anything else? We're going to open StreamYard, so you can jump in later. Go ahead.
What happened?
No, we're going to open StreamYard later, so if you want to jump in.
That's okay, but I just want to finish off with this. It's like, look, for all their Wilder fans and Fury fans, like kind of snickering about this shit, man, listen, he got a way better resume than both of these guys combined, man, for real. Even after the gamut, man, and try to, build something up, because he was on the 11-fight win streak, man, and his resume up to this point is legit, man. I thought he deserved it, to fight, Fury.
But
and now they're gonna have to take it back even further.
But what's Dylan Whyte's best win? And his best win. What's the guy's best win? All right.
Who cares about his best win, man? He fights people who's in front of him, man.
Yeah, I get your point.
Yeah,
man.
he's been fighting like if he had a belt, like if he were making title defenses against the caliber of opponents he was facing, just like a champion, same caliber of opposition.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
I thought he fought like a champion, but and
Virtue also brings a good point about the Tyson Fury fans, because a lot of them now are like, or even Joshua fans they're saying Whyte was never that good, because apparently there was that battle between those three, the fans of those three fighters. But at the end of the day, let's say take Tyson Fury for example. Okay, his best win right now is over Klitschko, which was 2015, and against Deontay Wilder. But Deontay Wilder, everybody was clowning him in this community in our side of the community about how awful he was. So how can we give Tyson Fury that much credit for beating a guy that all he really had was speed and power? You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Managed to expose him, though, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
did you see guys? You guys saw how morbidly pissed off Eddie Hearn was? Because that was his trump card. He was trying to elevate that guy to full champion. You know, if Tyson Fury, didn't want to hold on to that belt, fighting.
Well, listen, I think Eddie Hearn wanted to
Fight
see
is
Dylan
mandatory.
Whyte against Fury first, right? He wanted to see that fight before the Fury Joshua fight, so that's unacceptable, man, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Virtuoso, we got a lot of phone calls, but I'm gonna post the streamer link, all right, so you can jump in.
All right.
All right.
He's
Take
also
care,
got
man.
to show some solidarity with this fighter. He can't just throw him under the bus because he does promote him. And I think Eddie Hearn has said before that, like, referring to other fighters that lose, I mean, he expects those guys to win on the next fight because then all of a sudden they could be forgotten because they don't prove to be good fighters. But there's a difference between getting beat up and just getting knocked out with one shot. I think he just can't throw him under the bus because he got knocked out with the perfect punch line.
No, he can't. He can't. At this point, I mean, all right, another phone call, guys. 443, you're on the air. 443.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Welcome. Yes, sir. What's on your mind?
Good. It was a good fight, man. It was a good fight. I said it. I was on another page, and I said to the guy, another podcast, and I said to the host that Whyte should fake jab and then throw uppercut, right? And that's exactly what Povetkin did. He stepped in like he was going to jab, and then he came straight up with the uppercut and caught him on the point of his chin. He didn't see it coming at all. So, but it's nothing to be ashamed of, man. He fought a well-schooled fighter known for his punch, and I think he asked for a rematch right after the fight. So hopefully he can get his rematch because I don't know where else Povetkin could go after this. He's kind of like in limbo, right?
Good point. I mean, I don't think he's gonna get a title shot, right? There's Fury and Joshua are the champions.
Who else can he fight to make any money besides the gentleman that he fought already that's in front of him?
Exactly. Also,
Right?
yeah. And Eddie Hearn apparently he just announced that he wants the rematch by the end of the year. So there's a demand for him. They're gonna offer him a lot of money. Then, yeah.
And you know what, Bucho? Can I say something after the callers finish in regards to that point?
I would love to see a rematch, to be honest with you. Yeah. You know what?
Yep.
I'm going to jump off here and.
All right, man. Thanks for calling, man.
Okay,
Take
yeah. I'm gonna jump into your stream your stream yard. All right.
All right. Cool. Take care. I'll see you there.
All right.
All right. Let's take another phone call before we move on to StreamYard. 470. You're on the air. 470.
Hey, what's up, guys? It was a great fight. I called in about 5-10 minutes ago, so I guess there was some discussion about, not giving Povetkin credit. And, for me, I wasn't really surprised by the result of the fight. I kind of saw it as a 50-50. Dylan Whyte's a younger guy, stronger guy. He's fought good competition thus far, a lot of top 10 contenders. But if you watched his last, few fights, he's been dropped late. He was dropped by Parker. He was dropped
Chisora.
by Rivas. So if you look at Povetkin's skill set with the combination punching, with the feints, with the weird angles, with the looping shots, I've just never really seen Dylan Whyte defensively responsible for 12 rounds. So the fight kind of turned out where it was like 50-50 with Whyte dropping him, and then, Povetkin ultimately, he got the KO. So, I think we got to just give credit to both guys for, they're both, contenders. Dylan Whyte, he took a risk and it didn't work out for him. But, I'm not the type of guy, I'm not going to throw, a Dylan Whyte under the bus. I think, if you fight top guys, you take a risk, things happen. So, that's my view on the fight.
Yeah, good one. Gonzalo, go ahead.
Also,
Yeah. How many times has he not been looking at the other opponent down in the canvas like he was down tonight? He's done the same to other fighters. I was just gonna say real fast. I think I got a delay, but anyways, this is perfect in a way, Bucho, because look, if this fighter earned the mandatory position as interim champion, by having the rematch, they get to extend that position to where they're not gonna fight automatically for against the champion. So in other words, these two guys are gonna be busy again while the Fury and Joshua fight takes place. So a rematch is kind of good in that sense. It buys the champions more time to fight amongst each other for undisputed title.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Let's all right, let's sorry, I'm all over the place over here. Caller, anything else?
No, I just wanted to, just, they're saying Eddie Hearn. I didn't see Eddie Hearn's post-fight interview, but I don't know if he's really going to stick to a rematch.
I think this is a rematch. In my opinion, I don't like the previous caller said. Where's where's Whyte gonna go from this? He needs to.
Do the rematch, and that way Joshua and Fury's not compromised. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's not compromised. That fight takes place because these guys, the mandatories, are busy executing that rematch. That position is not taken, so the fight with Fury Joshua's not compromised because that position is not filled yet. To have a rematch.
Correcto. Anyways,
I had a question, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Bucho.
No, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to know because again, there was a lot of AJ hate. I mean, AJ, a lot of Dylan Whyte hate. I mean, I know Johnny Boy loved the knockoff, and he was calling Whyte the crybaby. And I know I haven't seen other videos, but I've seen the headlines on the videos, the titles, and people were complaining about Dylan Whyte. What was he? Was he talking a lot during these past 2 years or something? Was he bitching and moaning, or why is there such a big dislike for Dylan Whyte?
Hey, Bucho.
Jesus, Johnny Boy was acting like Hitler.
All right, hold on. We got a lot of people in here. It's fucking. Oh, we got more phone calls. All right, call 470, man. Thanks for the phone call. All right, man. Call back again, maybe later.
Hey, Pucho, you got StreamYard open?
Yeah, I got a bunch of
who's there?
shit open. There's a lot of people, man. All right, let's just go through the phone lines first. Let's go through the phone lines.
All right.
972.
Johnny Boy, part of the SS squad.
972. Go ahead. 972. Going once.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, man. I'm speaking to you from Dallas, but originally I'm from England, so I'm British. And I was watching this fight, and I'm a bit disappointed in the result, only because of all the hype around Dylan Whyte and how much he's been focusing on trying to beat Wilder and Fury. I think that was the wrong move. For 1 year, all he talks about is Wilder. And the problem with it, I think he lost in sight at where he's at. And he thought he was already a world beater. And I think that's where, Dylan Whyte had got exposed. And personally, I don't even know if he can come back from that. And I don't even think he can get a Wilder shot or even a Fury shot now, even after the 1,000 days. Personally, they made a wrong business move with Dylan Whyte. And he could have sat back on his stool for another 50 days or 100 days or 200 days and maybe try and get that title shot. But it just shows us today that there's a lot of hype around certain fighters, and only certain fighters are world beaters, and some are elite. And I do believe now that Tyson Fury is the elite of our division in the heavyweight. Whether people like it or not, you got to respect it. He's got a good game, he's got movement, and he's got a good IQ. Dylan Whyte don't have the IQ for that kind of level of fighting. He's an amazing domestic fighter. He's a good money fighter, but it's just disappointing to see him go out like that from a 40-plus man like Povetkin. Where does he come back from that, bro? Do you see a good route for him to come back?
I don't know, but go ahead, BDA.
Of course. Look,
Yeah,
you don't see that punch coming. I don't care who you are.
Man.
I don't care if you're elite or not. That type of punch, if you get hit with it and you don't see it because it happens in the split of a fraction of a millisecond, it doesn't matter if you're elite or not. You're still gonna get knocked out.
And by the way, shouldn't we give credit to Dylan Whyte for not staying on the sidelines? I know you said that he should have done it, but come on, he wanted to fight a tough guy. He could have fought a bomb or not done anything at all. He decided to fight Povetkin. All right, he lost, but hey, at least he took a chance. and decided to fight somebody relevant.
Look where he's now.
Okay. Now,
That's a good
now I definitely want to jump in if that's cool. That cool?
All right, quickly.
Whoever made those comments just now is right because that's the old-fashioned way. They used to take a lot more risk.
Right, but the smart way would have been to stay on the sidelines. Okay. Go ahead, Ron. Who's on the stream here?
It's Troy. Okay.
World levels again.
Right.
Okay, let me say this about Whyte and all that. You don't see a lot of fighters like Whyte today that take these risks and so forth. And you know, that's why Tyson could come out of retirement, Roy could come out of retirement, Oscar can come out of retirement and make a bigger splash in boxing than all these current boxers. That's why. If more fighters were like Dylan, we would have better fights and you know, and boxing would move on to another level. This is not a safe man's fight. I mean, you know, this is not a safe man's game. Honestly,
yeah,
if you want to play
agree,
safe,
man.
let me finish. If you want to play safe, then you should get involved with golf. This right here is risk time reward, and you know that's how you make your mark is to being great. He got knocked out tonight, which means nothing. It's a stop. I mean, it's a pause. It's a pause. It's not a stop. Because the first thing he did, you know, from my understanding, was to ask for his rematch. Okay. And since he got knocked out, he has to sit now for 90 days. He has to sit. So they could come back and fight again in February. Right?
Yeah.
And then he has a chance to prove, you know, if he could beat this man. If he knocks him out in the rematch, then guess what? If a third fight is warranted, then they'll work on that. But there's no need to knock him and say, okay, well, he's dumb. He made a mistake. He should have played it simple. This is not. Look, once you get into the sport, I used to box. I was never a pro. You don't come into the sport thinking I'm gonna play it safe.
All right,
You
Troy. We get your point, Troy. But just let the caller say something quickly.
I just want to make one point. One point. So being from England, I support all my fighters. Of course, they're you know, that's my hometown. But he's been gunning down Tyson Fury and Wilder really badly for the last 6 months, and that's what's discredited him today. He should have focused in what he has to focus in.
No, sir. No, sir. I can tell you why he lost the fight today.
Yes, sir. Coming from England, yes, sir.
No, sir. I can tell you why he lost the fight today. He fought a man that was schooled enough to fake the jab and step in with an uppercut. That had nothing to do with Whyte or, I mean, with Wilder or Fury, because neither one of them do that. Neither one of them have ever done that.
I totally agree with Troy, man. Look,
and he
this
packed
is why you never want to give credit. You never want to say
I understand what you're saying.
Fighter.
Let me finish. He
should have stayed on the sidelines. It was a stupid move for him not to fight.
Too many people.
Go ahead.
All right, we got a caller. Call back again, all right? You know you're boxing, so we want you back on the show. Take care.
All right, bro.
All right, we got to way more. Okay, we got to get through these lines. All right, people, we can't all talk at the same time, all right? 773, you're on the air. 773. 773.
How the hell y'all doing?
Hey, Kevin, what's up?
You know what I was talking about last week? I said Whyte should have already gotten his title shot. Instead, he's taking these dangerous fights, squeaking through the cracks, barely got by his last fight, and now this fight, heavyweight boxing, anything can happen. Kaboom! Man, that uppercut. You don't get it much cleaner than that. And I heard someone say, "Oh, see, she did it. Wilder could have did it. Wilder don't got 1/10 the technique and talent that Povetkin does."
Oh man.
Povetkin, I mean, there ain't no way in hell Wilder could ever dream of landing a combination that pretty, that clean. Hit the jab, step aside, looked like it was going to the body, come straight up to the uppercut. Wilder don't got that kind of technique. So people trying to throw Wilder in there. Oh, Wilder, he's done. He's washed. He's gone. This is about Povetkin. Ain't about Wilder.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
You know what this reminds me of?
Yeah.
This reminds me of Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson, he should have already gotten his title shot against Khabib.
He took another fight
Yeah,
against
Ruiz.
Justin Gaethje. He got destroyed, and now we'll never see that fight. Tony Ferguson may never get his title shot because they didn't give him his title shot he earned. What do you guys think about that? Kaboom.
All right, Kevin. Thanks for. We're gonna move on because we got more phone calls, but we'll talk about what you just mentioned, man. Good point, man. Join the StreamYard.
Better believe it. You better believe it.
All right, man. That was Kevin from Chicago. All right, 314. You're on the air. 314.
Yeah, I just want to say I called in earlier, and it's just a shame that a loss makes all these people dump on somebody. Like, it's just stupid. I called in earlier, too. There's no reason that this dude's lost, and I'm a big Povetkin fan, but we know Povetkin is, and Povetkin's one of those dudes, he's super dangerous.
Yeah.
And that came, I was watching my screen today, and I was like, he got knocked down twice. Like, who saw that coming? Nobody. That was out of nowhere, and anybody writing this guy off, I still take him over Wilder. I don't know about Josh or Fury, but I still take him over Wilder. You know, this guy, and I still think that Povetkin's a stud, but, you know, he's old. Like, I think this is the end of the road for him. This is his last great win. But
hey, if I can add something to that, Cowboy, let me tell you something, Cowboy. You're absolutely right, man. One loss now, and people completely write you off. People, are mocking Whyte. They're saying he's a bum. But it's like the guy. This is what's wrong with boxing. One loss now, and boom, you're done. That's why nobody wants. A lot of these young fighters don't want to take risks. That's why we got Ryan Garcia and Dave. Devin Haney and all these other guys talking on Twitter, fighting on Twitter instead of fighting in the ring because they're afraid, and their promoters are afraid that if they lose once, whoops, it's over. But that's not how it works.
No, you're totally right. I totally agree with you. It's ridiculous. We got 21-year-olds talking like they never lose. I don't know if you watch, what's that dude, Rummy's Corner? You watch everybody in the top of his, like he's been putting out these, the series of the top of each of the original 8 weight classes. All these guys got 8 to 10 losses.
Yeah.
We're so worried about one loss nowadays.
That's the Floyd Mayweather effect, I think. The 50-0.
Yeah, but no, I think you're right.
Yeah.
That's
Not everybody can do that.
Rummy's Corner didn't put Floyd at the top of any of them.
Oh, you're gonna okay. A lot of people are gonna hate that. Hey, caller, we gotta move on. But thanks for calling. All right.
I'll tell you why.
Take care.
He didn't put Floyd Mayweather because he never fought any of the best in their prime, man. Each division he always. Oh, I'm retiring.
That was absolutely brilliant.
All right, let's get people in the StreamYard as well in here. All right, we have Jake Green, Kenshiro, and Troy still there. Guys, you can jump in.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, regarding the fight, I'm a UK guy, so of course I was supporting Whyte, but I've seen Povetkin a number of fights. Well, he's been around a long time, but he's a dangerous guy. I mean, the guy's only lost to Klitschko and Joshua, and it shows that, Joshua took one of those uppercuts on the chin, so it shows maybe the worries about Joshua's chin entry, but I support all of the UK guys, and I support any of the boxing guys, so when Povetkin came up with that uppercut today, that was amazing. It was straight out of the flipping top drawer when it knocked him straight out, and the guy deserves his props. But Whyte, props to Whyte too, because he's waited 1,000 days for a shot at the WBC title, and it's a ridiculous amount of time to wait. And now he's not going to get the chance, but he's never shied away from the tough fights. So you got to give it to him. You look at his resume compared to even Fury. Fury, he's fought Klitschko, and he outclassed Klitschko just about on the night in in Berlin or in Germany somewhere, but then he didn't make the rematch. So Fury's a world-class fighter. He is, and Wilder has got the punch. But Wilder, he was scheduled to fight Povetkin, but Povetkin had the failed drugs test, but then he passed the B sample, and then Povetkin took him to court over the not making the fight. So like Wilder and Fury, neither of them have fought Povetkin, so he's a dangerous guy. I mean, like you say, age doesn't take away from the power, and the guy's got ring IQ, and he saw the opening on Whyte and he took it. I mean, but props to Whyte for taking it, and Povetkin's an elite fighter.
Good point. Is Troy still there? Troy, are you there? Okay, because Troy believes that...
Yes, sir, I'm still here.
Dillian Whyte didn't make a mistake in fighting Povetkin. Now, Kenshiro believes that it was a mistake. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, for me, I just thought it was unnecessary. I mean, yeah, he wants to maybe, I don't know, show whoever it is that he's still... Or I don't know if it's more for the Wilder Fury aspect to show, but at the end of the day, you know, you look at Povetkin's, you know, his biggest wins. Yes, they're a while ago, but, you know, Ruslan Chekhov and even Raheem Hassan. And I just think that now it's, he wants to do old school, but now it looks like he got taken to school. And now it's going to be a big road back again. I just didn't see the need for it. He should have just waited. And also, I like to say, I think a lot of people got pissed off with Whyte. I think because he got a lot of people's backs up because he's interjected and obviously trying to stop Fury and Joshua's fight. You know, because he's like, oh, I've got to be the first person they fight before they fight each other. And I think that annoyed a lot of people. And I'm thinking that's why people probably are happy.
Well, the guy's been waiting 1,000 days. I mean, it's not like he's been waiting like a month. He's been waiting 1,000 days for it. It's like 2.5 years.
And how long is he going to wait now, though?
But, I mean,
none of that matters.
Yeah, away from the big fights. But, I mean, you got to give it to him a little bit. I mean, he takes the fight.
Of course. But I'm saying, I think more people are probably pissed off with him more recently because he was trying to stop the Fury AJ fight, not to do with himself. That's what I think.
Good point.
Well, I think more people are pissed off with the fact that Fury's got to fight Wilder for the third time. And I mean, realistically, who actually wants to see that? I mean, the first fight was a bit of a shocker, but like the second fight was obvious. Fury, and like, who wants to see the first fight? No one. So,
well, the truth is that he wasn't trying to stop the fight. He just felt like he deserved his shot. That's all. But back to the fight tonight. What he did tonight was what he felt he wanted to do as a man and as a fighter. Because see, we can sit here and say XYZ, but guess what? That is his choice and that's his career. I don't think he did any wrong. The only wrong that came out of tonight was the fact that he got knocked out. But this might actually help
can I say
him more
something,
than
Troy? How many feel that? Can I say something real quick? How many feel that Povetkin also deserves justice for like having this win for what has been his career and the failed opportunities he's got to have an opportunity to fight one day for the title himself?
He already got the title. Remember, he lost to
Klitschko. And
Joshua. Yes, but still.
Joshua.
I mean, at this age, having another opportunity, the last one, you could say.
I mean, he deserves it, especially like what he had
he's
to.
Not going to get another. He's not getting a title shot. You know, let's be realistic. He's going to get a rematch against Whyte and get paid a whole lot of money, but he's not getting the title shot. I can tell you that right off the top.
That's up to him, isn't it? If he wins again, right? Is that up to him or
not?
Well,
you think the rematches come out already? I mean, Hearn's calling for the rematch. Whyte said he wanted the rematch.
Yeah, but that rematch is up to him if he wins or loses, right?
One at a time.
And he shocked the world today. You're saying that in his heart of hearts, he's not going to want to win that fight so he can get an opportunity to win the legitimate title?
Of course he wants it, but he's not going to get it.
Of course. Well, that's what you say.
Get it now. I mean, they ain't going to give it to Povetkin. They're going to make him wait because they made Whyte wait long enough. But like Povetkin, he deserves it. If he gets a shot, he deserves it. But I mean, Whyte made one mistake tonight. He let his guard down, and Povetkin took advantage of it. But like, I think in a rematch, and at the end of the day, people are saying, "Oh, they don't want to see the rematch now." But who's going to fight Povetkin? No one, because he's dangerous. Who's going to fight Whyte? No one, because he's dangerous. So it's there's the only fight for them both is each other. So and I think if Whyte is smarter next fight, he wins it. Because, well, you see how the fight was going, but it only takes a split second, and it only takes, like, when you've got the quality like Povetkin, like you say, he's to set up that uppercut. I mean, it was great. It was brilliant to watch, and it was knockout of the year probably, and it was a great shot. So you've got to say he deserves the shot too. But whether any of them are going to get it, no.
Yeah, because what's going to happen is this, right? Yes, he beat Whyte, and he's just not. They're not going to give him a title shot. I mean, look what they did to Whyte, and he did everything he was supposed to do. So what's going to happen is they'll probably fight again in February, and it'll be a much bigger fight. So in a sense, everybody's saying, well, there's a lot of people saying Dylan is silly. He could have sat down and all that. Those are the people who've probably never chased greatness. And that's what
exactly.
I don't fault Dillian for a damn thing.
Guy, is he? He's not.
I don't fault him for anything. You know, he stepped up and did what he wanted to do. If he would have won tonight, he would have stepped back to square one. Where do I go from here? Because nothing is going to stop the Joshua Fury fight.
Yeah, and if he won tonight, everyone would have been like, "Oh, Povetkin's washed up anyway." Povetkin, he's washed up. He ain't the champ.
Maybe they would have said that, sure, but nothing is going to stop that Joshua Wilder fight. Joshua Fury fight. I'm sorry, yeah, Fury fight. And Wilder will never take a fight against Whyte because he can punch. In his whole career, he's never fought a puncher. Period. He fought Ortiz, who can punch, but he's not a puncher. He's not going to take you out one punch. All right, he's just never fought. Right.
It's interesting because we're talking about.
So for Whyte, what he did was he set up for him fight. I'm sorry, no, he set up for himself a fight that's what career defining, and this is what's going to make him or break him, which is the rematch. So in a sense, the only thing he lost tonight was the fight, but he gained a whole lot more with the knockout. And if he beats him in the rematch, he gains that much more.
Yeah, people love.
But you know what, man? We gotta.
Go ahead, Mr. BDA. Go ahead, Mr. BDA.
Yeah, well, we gotta talk about something too. Dylan Whyte's age. He's 32 years old, and this is the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division guys, they can go on for longer, as we have just seen Povetkin prove. So all he has to do is come back. Well, I mean, I know it sounds easy to do, but he was almost doing it tonight. Come back in the rematch, beat Povetkin, get a couple of more wins, and he's back in contention and some good payday. Maybe let's say he never gets a Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua fight. He's still making pretty good dough based on this fight. So it's not over for him. I mean, I know it looks that way. You know, boxing fans, we tend to react that way when a guy gets iced the way he did. It's like, oh, it's the end of the world. Listen, he comes back against Povetkin, he wins the decision, or however he wins it, gets a couple more wins, one or two more impressive wins, and that's it. He's back. He's not done.
No, of course not. Exactly. That's what he's been doing all along, facing good fighters. So what's different? You know, he's more seasoned, and if he's high risk, low reward, even later when he gets older, fighters are gonna want to face him, get that name under the resume, and they could potentially lose. Dillian Whyte's got a long future ahead of him, like you said, BDA.
Exactly. It's better to attempt greatness than not try at all. Like Dillian Whyte he's fighting the best he can at the fights he can get. So I mean, for the amount of fighters that you never see, we've talked about it, and you talked about it before, mentioned earlier, Mayweather, and you never see the great fights until they're too late. And well, Dillian is fighting the best he can. So I mean, fair play to him, and fair play to Povetkin for still being right at the top. I mean, the guy, what was the stat on his weight? He hasn't been within 20 pounds of his starting weight when his first. I mean, the guy's a professional, so.
I can't believe people saying, "Oh, he's old," but he's putting the evidence right in front of your face with the Hunter fight and with this fight that he's still got tricks in his bag.
Something. It's just like the first words of a movie. Are you not entertained?
Yeah, we are. And you know what? To be honest with you, if I'm a fighter, I would rather lose the way Whyte did than get my ass kicked for 7 rounds and not win 1 round. Like how Fury beat Wilder. He didn't win 1 round. Dylan at least could say, well, I dropped the man twice, and he came back and he just He just outsmarted me and caught me with a shot I didn't see at all. He didn't see that shot at all. And that tells you how well schooled this man is. He didn't see it at all. If I'm a fighter, I'd rather get knocked out real quick than have my ass beat for 7 rounds. I'm sorry. That's just how I view it.
Good point.
Yeah, listen, and look, I would favor Whyte maybe in the rematch, but then again, how would he react to Povetkin potentially thinking that, oh, he's got that power that could take me out again?
Yeah, we'll see how
How
strong mentally
That's actually
he
a good
is.
thing. That's actually a good thing for him to think that way. Whyte was stiff all fight. If you watch, I don't know if y'all actually saw the fight, but Whyte's punches weren't flowing like they normally do. He was stiff the whole. I mean, he was jabbing and all that, but it wasn't. He wasn't fluid. He wasn't fluid. It's like his timing was off, and he was just stiff. And the truth is,
that's because of the feints. That's because of the feints. Povetkin made him stiff with the feints.
No, but the truth is, if I'm his trainer, I wouldn't have Whyte come in any heavier than 240. 254 and all that is not where he needs to be. Okay. Remember when he fought Chisora off in the rematch? He was 236, right? That's a great weight for him to be. 240 is a great weight for him to be, but no more than that. Yes, he might have looked good, but he was off. He was completely off, and he was fighting a man that fights on timing. I don't care how old he was. He fights on timing. He's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and then he'll jump in, and he'll back out, and he'll throw your complete timing off. And when he steps into you, he's going to hit you with something hard. And he's going to back away. Then he's going to jump in and touch you, and then he's going to jump right back in, boom, and catch you with something big. That's what he does. That's how he knocks out
That might be
and
true,
everybody
but
else.
you gotta think. He's been training for 20 weeks, so he was in shape. That might be true, but then again, he's 30. He's not in his 20s any longer. Can he get down to the 240s?
236.
Of course he can. If he could get as high as 275 and then get down to 254, he looked great. He didn't look bad, but he could look better. I'm really tired of hearing all these excuses from all these generation fighters about take Thurman now bragging about how he wants to fight Crawford. Really? You want to fight him for $10 million? When's the last time you made $10 million? When's the first time you made $10 million?
$10 million is a joke.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Yeah.
Guys, we have
Thurman's a joke.
He's not
we have more.
getting that.
Hold on, guys. We have more phone calls. Apparently, I just thought people were gonna stop calling. 314. You're on the air. 314. Yes, sir. 314. Going once. All right, that's it. No, too late, man. What the hell? Okay, we have another phone call. 585. You're on the air. 585. 585.
How you doing, Mr. BDA and Mr. Bucho? This is Vince.
What's up, Vince? What happened tonight?
Yes, Mr. Bucho, what happened tonight was Mr. Dillian Whyte got really lazy in there and got caught with a beautiful left uppercut from Mr. Povetkin, and it was good night, and I was in shock. Mr. Bucho, I cannot believe this, but it's okay, because these two gentlemen will be having a rematch, and the winner will have a death wish with Mr. Wilder.
Oh, you think the winner's gonna fight Wilder? Okay.
What?
It's never gonna happen.
What are you
Wilder
talking
don't fight
about?
punches.
Vinny, I gotta ask you, man. This BDA, this Mr. BDA, by the way, Vinny, this Mr. BDA. How come every time you call in before a fight, you're so confident, and then after the fight, you don't even address the fact that, hey, maybe I got a little, catching up to do when it comes to my boxing knowledge. I've told you before numerous times, I want to take you under my wing, teach you the ropes. Why do you continue to refuse? Failure after failure after failure. You refuse to allow me to mentor you. What's the matter with you?
Vinny, I think you need to take it.
Yes, Mr. BDA. I was actually right in my prediction. Mr. Dillian Whyte was outboxing Mr. Povetkin, but again, Dillian Whyte does occasionally get lazy in there, Mr. BDA, and he got caught with a beautiful left uppercut from Mr. Povetkin. Just glad that Mr. Povetkin did it instead of Mr. Wilder.
Wilder doesn't. First of all, Wilder's not schooled enough to do what he did to White. He's not that schooled, so that ain't gonna happen.
No.
Anybody
How
ever
you
tell you
doing,
you
sir?
sound like? Go ahead.
Vinny, go
yes,
ahead.
sir. Mr. Wilder has unbelievable knockout power, unbelievable once in a million type of power, sir. I'm not sure your name is, but my name is Vince.
My name's Troy. What was that power against Fury?
Yes, Troy. I will tell you where the power was. The power was actually in Mr. Fury's loaded gloves.
Oh
Alright,
my
Vinny,
God,
Vinny.
are you serious?
Loaded with what, sir?
Vinny, listen, man.
What was the glove loaded with?
Vinny, come on.
I think Povetkin uppercutted him earlier as
Yes.
well.
Yes, guys. You guys have seen the evidence on the internet. I'm sure that is definitely self-explanatory. And you guys have a great night, and I will be listening. Thank you.
Stay off the drugs.
be
And stay off the drugs, please.
A
Stay off the
pleasure.
drugs.
We got more phone calls here.
Pucho, hold on. You gotta read
Yes.
the super chats, man.
Yeah, I got a lot of. I said I'm gonna read them later because there's a lot of them, man. All right, let me check. Let me take care of it. All right,
Okay,
we're going
Mr.
to.
BDA, before you do that, I think I saw you cover. This is a fight that you covered that I really liked. Is Mike McCollum versus Julian Jackson? Was that you?
Yes, that was indeed me.
Yeah, that
That's him, man.
was a great breakdown, man. The slow motion when that was great, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We're doing more breakdowns now with instead of with video, we're doing it with GIFs live because that way it seems to work out when we're doing it live as opposed to using video. So we're gonna be doing more film analysis live on the spot as we go on.
You should join us, man. All right, Chris K, thank you for your contribution. Loma Docking Taylor and Pearson.
What?
All right. Wait, who's?
whatever.
All right.
Jason
Jason
talking
Bourne.
about female boxing, I think.
Oh, okay. I was like, who the fuck is that? Jason Bourne, thank you for your contribution. He says the Russians showed the UK how to handle invaders. Salute, Bucho. Okay. D-Town Blaster, thank you. He says, yes, Wilder was ducking. Okay. G Boogie, thank you for your contribution. He's in the Discord right now. Brotherhood. Oh, Brotherhood. You don't know nothing about boxing. Now you're going to say that Wilder, the king of Wakanda, that got his butt whooped by Tyson Fury, would have beaten Dylan White. Okay. Well, I think that's what some people are saying now. Okay. Father Jack Hackett, he says boxing. That's all he said. And he sent us 20 pounds. So thank you, man. Father Jack Hackett, again, 5 pounds. He says boxing. This guy's. All right.
All right.
He's drunk.
Been on the
but
whiskey all night.
Donor of the last month. So, Father, thank you. And
He's gonna be donor of the year if he keeps this up, man.
I know, man. Ring IQ boxing talk. Is this the real Ring IQ boxing? I think he is. Thank you, man. He says, now we know why Wilder docked Povetkin. Oh. Good point.
Shout out to everybody who donated, man. Thanks a lot, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and we have another phone call.
Povetkin will do to Wilder what Drago did to Apollo Creed.
If he dies, he dies.
That's the problem. You know what, guys?
Yeah, I
I
think
got to break down the
I was a lot younger
signal.
Povetkin at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
Kevin,
This is
go
the
ahead.
Problem with this is the problem with that high guard. People like to put up their high guard and close their eyes and pretty much just they don't see shit coming. They just put their little high guard up, get in a shell, and hopefully they absorb the punches on their arms or on their gloves, and maybe they'll survive. Wrong. So many times we've seen it where they get clipped around the ear, you get uppercuts, they get a big body shot. You got to see shots coming. You can't just put your guard up and hopefully you avoid the damage. That's just a really bad habit I see by a lot of boxers. Hey, just put your gloves up and there you go, you're good. No, you got to
or even peekaboo.
see what's coming.
Yeah.
Move. Use your feet and move.
It's easier
but
said than
how
done,
about
man,
this?
because sometimes you're holding your guard high expecting to cover from another punch, and you get hit with another different punch. There's always variables in
Exactly.
boxing.
He
It's
was
not
the-
one way.
Yeah, it's all about anticipation on which dynamics is going to come your way. You got to, by your technique in defense, you have to have less of a avenue for the opponent to strike you. So
You got to remember, these guys are professional boxers. They train to use their fists as weapons. They're looking to exploit those opportunities. It's not like you're saying, oh, there's one way I'm gonna cover here, but then I'm gonna say, oh, you just gotta be careful. No, you gotta be careful here, but yeah, you gotta be careful all around. But then again, the other guy, his job is to exploit those positions, those openings.
Butcher, do we still have more phone calls?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Kevin, one last comment.
He
'cause
wasn't
we got.
even ready. He wasn't even looking, guys. He was just, his eyes were pretty much closed when that shot landed. He had no idea it was coming. If he was moving, he was lay on his feet. He would have saw that shot coming. He could have dodged. He could slip and move. That's defense. Put your guard up, go in the shell, and hopefully you absorb the damage. But how about this for the Russians?
All right, Kevin, we get the point, Kevin. We got to move on, man. All right.
Last point, the Russians. They took that Bellator title. Vadim Nemkov knocked out Ryan Bader, dramatic fashion. And today, Povetkin knocked out Dillian Whyte, dramatic fashion.
Come on. Why do you got to bring nationalism into that? Come on.
The Red Army's coming, man.
Drop the Slavic hammer on him. He dropped the Slavic hammer on him. What do you got to say about that?
All right.
Wolverines!
In real speed, they're gonna close their eyes inside the pocket when the punch is coming. They're gonna flinch. But then again, you could watch the punches from your peripheral and kind of gauge where the punch is coming from. But then again, when you don't see a punch coming at all, it's very hard to anticipate.
That's a knockout anyway.
All right. We have our last phone call here. 972. You're on the air. 972.
Yeah, mate, I'm back again. You said we can call back.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to say, people were hating on me when I said that Dillian Whyte is not the elite of the talk anymore. I see some messages. What I mean is, Dillian Whyte is still a threat in the heavyweight boxing. It was within the top 10 for sure. He's got the puncher's chance and he's got all the attributes. Now the conversation comes as a fan where I'm from that pond, is that I look at him and think now that he's just now going to have to prove himself, like you guys said. He has to go back and try and win a rematch after getting knocked out like that. So that's going to be a hard challenge. Then, not to mention, he'll have to fight another top contender before he gets another fight with as in with AJ or Fury.
No.
So the conversation becomes, the conversation now Dillian Whyte becomes, is that can he do it? So not if, can he do it? So fighters like Daniel Dubois, and there's other fighters out there like Joy Joyce, they're ahead of him, if you ask me, in the game. Especially Daniel Dubois.
Absolutely not.
Boxing, I'm sure you guys do.
Somebody disagrees.
Dubois is the fighter.
And it depends how long as well now it will take.
I think as a fan, people are going to think he's the next one coming after Fury and AJ in England. That's all I'm saying.
After that performance.
Am I right?
Daniel Dubois has got a way to go yet, and even Joyce. But
well, they got to fight each other, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, these guys have faced no names. They're gonna fight amongst each other, and when you're a prospect coming up, you're supposed to fight 3-4 times a year. So he's been active. That's part of what everybody does. If you're getting the knockouts, is because you're not facing the elite competition yet. So yeah, he looks phenomenal at this stage. Dubois does, and yes, there's a lot of hype, but it's not proven.
Exactly. Yeah. It's heavyweight division wide open.
That's what that's done. That's left. That was. Can I say something?
Okay, can I just ask you? Does that after that loss, does Dillian Whyte still stay in the top 5 in the boxing WBC?
Yes.
I
think he does.
And if he doesn't, there's other sanctioning bodies. There's 4 major.
Well, that's a good question, though.
That's a good question, but I think
yeah, but how did they get Fury to fight Wilder in the first place? They just banged Fury in it like number 3, didn't they? Out of nowhere, even though he'd fought no one when he came back.
Yeah,
yeah, but it was well deserved, don't you think?
Yeah.
was more
he's still
name
top 10
recognition.
because look, it's in his hands. They're not gonna make him face a 15 or 20 opponent. He's gonna face another top 10 guy to rewrite the wrong. So if he beats the guy, he's gonna get put in the top 5.
All right, Brian, go ahead, Brian. Brian.
Yeah.
Okay, I do believe if he loses to Povetkin again, he'll be the stepping stone for the fighters coming into the World Championships. I mean, the World
Absolutely.
Rankings again. I feel
Absolutely.
sorry for him. I feel sorry for him, but it's the truth is the truth. And if people want to hate on it, there's no. I mean, Dillian Whyte is still a very hardcore champion.
How's he a stepping stone?
He will be. He will be.
If he loses
Bro.
again, he's saying.
I don't think
he'll
so.
be a stepping
No,
stone
come
for the
on.
fighters coming
not
up.
at
And then the
all.
next biggest fight they'll ever say is Daniel Dubois, Dillian Whyte in a year to come.
All right.
Absolutely
That's a
not.
Dubois choice. That's a
Absolutely
Dubois
not.
beats choice, though.
Guys.
So when Shane Mosley lost to Vernon Forrest, or when Ricardo Mayorga beat Vernon Forrest, did those guys become stepping stones?
Yeah, but
Because
they
they
didn't
lost
lose
to one guy, or when Oscar De La Hoya lost to Shane Mosley, did he become a stepping stone? And if he does become a stepping stone, nobody's
Gonzalo.
gonna want to fight him
Gonza- this
because
was-
he's been fighting top guys.
Gonzalo, Vernon Forrest wasn't 40 fucking 2 or something. You know what I mean?
No, Dillian White's 31, Bucho.
No, sorry, Povetkin. All right, this is too much
No,
chaos.
he's
Call
not-
it.
He's,
Okay,
they're
guys,
talking
guys,
about
guys,
White.
guys.
That White becomes a stepping stone.
All right.
Dillian White has never become a world champion. If he became a world champion and he got knocked out like that, then we can say, yeah, he's in the same name.
It doesn't matter. That's just the title. That's just a thing put on your name. Because what matters. I mean, I'm not saying the titles don't matter, but what matters is the level of competition that you've been facing. And he's still a threat because he's been facing top fucking guys.
No, he's yeah, exactly. But he will be a gatekeeper. No, if he loses again.
If Dillian Whyte loses again, he might be the new Dan Chisora.
World champion who gets
Yes.
knocked out like that carries a lot of weight.
When you got to think,
When you get knocked out 2 times by one
to
guy, that means the
Anthony
whole world's
Joshua.
gonna knock you out.
Yeah.
When you got
And
skills
Povetkin.
yourself,
That's it.
and he was able to put this guy down 2 times, and he got caught with 1 perfect punch. That means
All
he's a tomato can now.
I want to let Brian
Anyway,
Harkin
brothers,
say
we
something.
appreciate your show. We
Thank
appreciate
you
your
for
show,
calling.
man.
Thank you for calling. All right, Brian, go ahead. Sorry, man. He's been trying to say something for a long time.
Okay, no worries. How's everyone on the panel and in
Pretty
the
good,
chat?
What's
it was
up,
a
bro?
beautiful punch. Dillian White was let's be real here. Dillian White up to the knockout was controlling that fight. Put him down twice in the 4th round. He was using the jab. His game plan was working. You know, but it was a beautiful because he slipped the jab and he catches him with a beautiful uppercut. He caught him clean. Now, it was a beautiful punch. And what do we say about heavyweight boxing? One punch can change, just not a fight. But the whole situation now has changed in the heavyweight division. I know there will be people looking for someone like Dubois to step up, but he's a couple years off that. Let's be real. He's a young prospect, and at this level, he is unproven. He has to go through litmus tests now. Yeah, he's still a stiff big lump, Dubois, at the moment. Yeah, he's not proven.
I disagree with you, Brian, on the part that everything has changed. No, I think it remains the same, even more. Why? Because they're buying themselves time, and that mandatory position between these 2 fighters is yet to be occupied, while the other fight that was yet to be planned between Fury and Joshua can still take place. Or the Fury Wilder fight. So that means that they're not pressing. Nobody's pushing. These guys are not like trying to knock down the door to fight because they're still occupied.
Yeah, but it might speed up the AJ or Fury. It might speed up the AJ Fury negotiations. It might even speed that up a bit.
It's not speeding up nothing because they still gotta do training camp for this rematch for the interim title. And then by the time that fight's over, they gotta do another training camp to fight for the title opportunity. So you're buying yourself like 8 months for the promoters. For her.
Wilder's still looking to fight Fury.
No, he's fighting. He's fighting in December.
Well, there you go. So it's not made a difference then, has it?
No, it gives even more time.
No, but it changes. Right, it changes because they're talking about Dillian Whyte and Fury in February. Yeah,
That's the mandatory.
the only
there's
thing
a
it
rematch.
changes is
The
that
Mando, the
now
WBC
the
Mando is on
WBC
hold.
get out of the fact that they don't have to flipping give Dillian White a chance. That's all. I mean, you can now pop off Povetkin, but now the WBC gets a bit of a break. And that's the only thing it changes. Nothing else. Everything's the same.
Yeah, but who steps into that? Who steps into that role now? As a Povetkin, if they're having a rematch, when does that rematch happen? Because
After two
if it
fights
happens
from
next
now,
February,
after the rematch, and after the rematch, that fight takes place in the second fight down the line. 2 training camps from now.
I got it.
That's like 8 months.
Didn't Hearn come out and say by the end of the year the
Yeah, he
rematch
said
for this
that.
Povetkin
He said
fight?
that. That's right.
He's
All right, guys, hold on.
anyway.
We'll take one last phone call. 314. You're on the air. 314.
Man, I just want to say, I wish to God to see Wilder versus
Whyte.
fucking not Povetkin, but the see Whyte versus Wilder.
Yep.
See Whyte versus Wilder be great because Wilder waited that poor bastard out all this time, and now nothing's on the line. And I would love to see Whyte knock his fucking shit clean. And that's what I think would happen.
Wilder will get smoked like a blunt.
I totally agree with you.
Huh. What do you guys think?
If I heard you on the phone, but yeah, I totally think Wilder gets obliterated by Whyte.
I mean that. What was it? What did that Hearn offer for the White fight back in the day? Was it like 7 million quid? 7 million quid was it?
Think so.
For the White fight before all the Anthony Joshua rubbish that happened.
Yeah,
7 million quid. Doesn't look too bad to old Wilder now after he's lost his belt.
Well, I don't think Joshua's a good matchup for. I think Wilder's a better matchup for Whyte than Joshua is.
yeah, that's because
Joshua's robotic.
Deontay Wilder. That's because Deontay Wilder is always off balance, right? His feet are.
I
see
agree
his
with
feet
you on
are
that.
wider than.
It seems like everybody
they're
can beat
wider than the
Wilder
Grand
now,
Canyon.
right? It sounds like everybody can. That's what you guys are saying. Anybody can beat Wilder at this point.
No,
not
you
that
make a
everybody
good
can beat
point.
Wilder,
like
right?
it sounds
Right.
like that, but if somebody has a good right,
Keep
and
them find
I
it.
think White's one of the people that can though. There's about 3 people. Like I don't think Povetkin can beat him as much as like Povetkin.
All right, I get it.
I think Wilder's been found out. Pressure him. Don't give him room to shoot off that right hand.
He doesn't get the right hand off. He's nowhere, is he? I mean, if you look at how White's been put down like twice, hasn't it? He's lost to. I mean, he's lost to Povetkin. I mean, former world champion, great fighter, and he's lost to Anthony Joshua, unified world champion. I mean, both of them though. What is the bit of a thing is like they were both uppercuts that like initiated it. Although it wasn't, he didn't go down completely from the uppercut from Joshua in their fight. It was the same with Povetkin. So, but I mean, Wilder doesn't have that in his locker. So I mean, he shouldn't have anything to be worried about from Wilder.
Also,
how many fights has Whyte had actually?
23,
Whyte?
I think.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah. Also, Wilder can't shoot on the inside. He has no inside game at all. Right, going backwards, he's just defensively trash. No movement. His feet are way too wide. He's just awkward. Everything about Wilder is awkward except for time to shoot that right hand. You give that man time and space, and you give him a clear target to shoot off that right hand. He's very accurate with it. But if you don't give him that space, he's been found out. If you do not give him that space, he can't get off the right hand.
It's like this fight tonight. It's like
Fury has exposed him, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, Fury.
Nobody else has.
I think in a way. I think in a way. What's his
between
name?
like certain fighters,
Ortiz.
like.
Go ahead, caller.
But isn't there one of the certain differences between where you have certain fighters that like? That's why you tune in, don't you? Like at least Whyte will give you a show, or Povetkin's proved it multiple times that like I'll get up. Like this is one
But
time where
Povetkin
White
always puts on a show. I mean, the guy's like great. I mean, watching that, he's been on quite a few matchroom shows recently. I mean, watching that, that Price fight where Price actually looked like he had the upper hand. It's a similar sort of fight, but when Povetkin got that shot, he knocked him out to the stars. I mean, the guy was flipping spitting blood and unconscious on the floor. So I mean, the guy, if Povetkin gets the chance, he'll take it, and he proved it today.
White was following his game plan perfectly until that uppercut happened.
The David Price knockout, that was bad.
Knockout of the year,
this
guys.
This was a big one too.
I agree.
Povetkin, as much as I'm ready for new blood, I mean, it's hard to push that guy out of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Well, he's doing what he's doing, yeah.
Well, I mean, look at Klitschko. I mean, how many years was he at the top? I mean, if you've got it, you've got it. I mean, Povetkin, you can tell he's always dangerous. Like we've covered before, 2 losses. I mean, and the guys that he's lost against are world class. So he's not an amateur.
More important thing is anybody. Has anybody actually checked on Stu?
And I wouldn't want to see him in a top tier match right now either. Like I'm a huge Klitschko fan, big Povetkin fan. I was a big Whyte fan. I'm still a big Whyte fan. But I look at age. I don't want to see Klitschko come back. He's old. I'd like to see Povetkin maybe in some kind of fight, but not for a title fight because he's old. I still want to see, but I want to see the Whyte come back.
Well, you gotta think, man. Also, there's always been pound for pound fighters that are in like their late 40s to early late 30s to early 40s. Always. There's in the pound for pound list. If you go back, you had Hopkins, you had De La Hoya, you had Mayweather, you had Marquez.
Well, De La Hoya wasn't
Pacquiao.
Oh, you're right.
Okay, let me ask everybody a question.
Yeah, I get your point.
But the lighter weights too.
That's true, but then again, the higher weights they age a little slower, correct?
Yeah.
You think that Povetkin, who had the better stamina against the young
you look at Foreman, you never lose your power, do you?
Yeah, exactly. What's that, Gonzalo?
That was a draw. He looked pretty good, right, against Hunter. Hunter's
a
young man.
That's what somebody. Said.
That's beat Hunter.
I thought he beat him too.
We had a caller who was making fun of Dillian Whyte because he sounded like a Wilder fan, and then he said, "Well, he couldn't even knock out Hunter." And then Whyte got knocked out by Povetkin, meaning that Hunter is much better than Whyte or something. Whyte's just a hype job or something. Yeah.
Povetkin's record is better. Look, fucking Anthony Joshua is a high percentage KO puncher. He could have knocked out Takam off his feet, and fucking Povetkin KO'd him. Doesn't have as high as a KO rate.
I know. It doesn't make sense. Guys, it doesn't make sense.
It's like White's knocked out. Did he knock out Parker? Did he get the KO on Parker?
No. He got dropped.
Parker. Well, I mean, Parker, he's not an easy guy to beat. The guy's got flipping talent on the inside. He's an animal. I mean, that he's got some decent names on his resume.
Parker's got an under.
To me, I really thought there was a top 4, and I thought it was Joshua, Fury, Wilder, and then Whyte.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like, and then I thought the next couple were like Povetkin.
Parker.
I actually even thought that the other fucking Fury was in there. And there were a couple guys in there.
Fury.
Was he? I don't know.
Shades of Ali, he called him.
They made me talking about John Fury.
But Whyte is fucked right now.
That's the deal on there. That's easy.
Let me ask you a question real quick, right? Let me ask you a question. Everybody seems to be focused on his age, that he's 40, but let me ask you a question. Who's ever punished him? I'm talking about
nobody.
Povetkin. How many times has he been punished? I understand he's been beat twice. He's only been stopped once. So how many times has he been punished by anyone?
He's not really been punished, but I mean,
exactly. He's never been punished. He's only been stopped one time, which tells you that he's still he's still in great shape.
Yeah.
He's never been beat up.
He's in great
He's
shape.
only been beat up. He's only been beat up one time,
the
and
wear
that's
and
by
tear
Joshua.
that he might have is similar to
Well,
like
and
Lomachenko, because they've been fighting
Klitschko.
for a long
So
time ever since the amateur.
so people saying that this man is old and he's a stepping stone. They don't really have an eye for this sport.
No, they're wrong.
Even the Joshua fight. I mean, there were some moments where Povetkin rocked Joshua a couple of times, but obviously it was like the fifth or sixth round when he got on top. But yeah, Joshua did hurt him in that. But yeah, it was a great fight that was.
Yeah, he boxed him in the early rounds. He controlled the distance, and he nullified Joshua. He nullified a lot of what Joshua was doing with his head movement, his upper body movement. You know,
Hey, is
and his
Povetkin a
timing.
dude that never really peaked, but just had steady for like 10 years?
I call him Mr.
Like
Consistency.
he didn't really go up and above, but he was just like a stud for 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Mr. Consistency.
And he hasn't fallen off yet.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's a good fighter. So, and I think it was a perfect punch. I think he
No,
would
it
sleep
was for sure.
that. Well, I think if he lands that punch in a lot of heavyweights to get knocked out tonight.
Mate, I'm not being funny. Dylan Whyte wasn't going to wake up to they sweep up the place.
Yeah, well, Povetkin read Dillian Whyte a sweet lullaby tonight.
Yeah.
Called the perfect uppercut.
Like, and you guys will have more inside info on this, but like that guy really cut down. Like, what is there any inside story on like what he did? Because he looked super in shape for this.
Who Whyte or Povetkin? Both of them.
White.
Both of them.
I mean, Povetkin's always the same for White.
Yeah.
Like he lost like 25 pounds.
Fuck is that sound?
Like he looked outrageous.
Yo, Troy, there's like a whistling sound. I don't know. There's some weird sound coming out of your end. So. Right.
I'm sorry.
No, not you, Troy.
I'm sorry, man. I'm boiling some tea. I'm boiling some tea. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, my apologies.
It's
man.
those derecho wins like in Iowa. Did you hear about those derecho wins? It's a derecho storm. The winds that come in bands, like a hurricane.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck that is, man.
Yeah.
That's way away from hurricane season.
Yeah, that happened in Iowa, like derecho winds, bands of winds, like a hurricane force. This happened on the 10th, a couple of days ago.
I think the only
90 seconds
heavy nowadays is Fury. I think he's the only one that come in as heavy as he wants. Everybody else has got to come in less, I think.
Yeah. Yo, Troy, mute your mic, man.
What does the WBC do after this? Do you guys got any
I'm on
ideas
mute.
on that?
The WBC, they're all cracking open the champagne. That's what they're doing.
Well, let's assume. Do they let does that totally evoke
60
the
seconds.
whole next fight fucking clause or not?
Yeah, it puts it on
or
hold
does that
supposedly.
Go to Povetkin?
See, that's a good thing. Now,
They get to do a rematch.
yeah. No. Listen, this is the good thing about all of this. Fury against Joshua is no longer interrupted. I mean,
No,
I guess
agree.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, there's Wilder Fury 3, right, which is contractually there, but who knows? Maybe Wilder won't take the fight. Maybe there was gonna be like a step aside money. I hope so.
He hopes so.
Does
as well.
anybody like that dude isn't even like making videos or anything? Like, is
No.
he hurt? Like, I heard he had to have surgery. I mean, does his trannies need to like take a break so
10
they make a
seconds.
new costume, or what's going on
Well,
here?
according to his brother, he's dead.
What?
Oh, really?
According to Deontay Wilder's brother, he's dead.
Well,
Apparently, they had an autopsy
like
to check the fucking skull.
That might be some like weird Mardi Gras slang. Like, as soon as Mardi Gras happens, and we got a special mask or something, you know. That's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah, I don't know where he is. I mean, maybe they told Wilder to stay, quiet, not to make
Have
any
you seen
comments.
that meme of him in the He's in the fireman's suit, isn't he? And he's saying, "Oh, it's like 40 pounds. I feel like 100 pounds. I'm dancing. I'm fighting." And it's like 40 pound suit made him lose the fight. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
No,
that was
no.
the biggest
Here,
joke of all time. But I
hey,
don't
you
even
know
know
the
if he made it.
you know the dent, the
Yeah.
dent Wilder meant to have in his head, right?
Yeah.
Apparently they
Yeah.
had an autopsy. His brother came out on Twitter and said during the autopsy.
What?
His brother
Yeah,
said on
yeah.
Twitter during
Yeah,
the
no, you remember that?
autopsy.
Yeah, well, somebody spoke about this ages ago.
Yeah, no.
I don't
According to
think
this is
I
why
don't
he's
think
posting no
Usyk's ever
videos. He's
coming
dead.
back.
What's that, Gonzalo?
I do
I don't
feel
think
for Wilder, to be fair,
Alexander
because
Usyk.
$100
I don't think
million,
he's ever coming back.
$100 million.
But
I
I
mean,
think as Fury said though, he's not gonna pay Wilder step aside money when he knows he can spark him out for free.
Yeah. And get paid for it.
Exactly. Why pay 10 million for a step aside when you know you can get paid and knock somebody out quick time and then go to the next fight?
Yeah.
Gonzalo, what did you say about Usyk?
Usyk, as far as Alexander Usyk, I don't think he's really coming back.
Huh? What do you mean?
Yeah, it's just look. The reason I say that because he's prone to injuries. He's a cruiserweight, and look, maybe Evander Holyfield was successful during that era.
Yeah.
But Evander Holyfield fought against small heavyweights. Now, in this day and age, cruiserweight, it's coming up to fight heavyweights, but much bigger heavyweights, super heavyweights. So the strain on his body
Yeah, but he
has
also
been
ain't a
reflecting.
little sus either. Like fucking Usyk is totally blowing his chance. Like that shit should have been going on by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not getting any younger.
yeah,
And he
Usyk's got to
relies
do
on
something,
speed.
and he's got to do something quick to be taken seriously. Otherwise, you're just going to be put on the back burner. Like he's going to be Chisora standard sort of thing. But he's a lot more. I think he's got Chisora.
yeah,
I think I think he'll beat Chisora in the fight, but. Whether he's got enough about him to overcome the size of people like Fury and like leaning on him and Joshua with his power, right? I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Well,
nobody
you know, one thing maybe about the
fucking,
heavyweights, one thing can be said: if they're not as good as they used to be,
it'd be
one thing's for
ridiculous.
sure: with the size comes power, and these guys are losing to each other. So it's not a given that he, a small heavyweight, although very skilled, can take one of these guys' punches.
Dingo Icarus in the chat says Usyk is 6'3". People talk like he's a midget. Ha ha ha.
Well, Sebastian Fundora is 6'5", and he's a welterweight.
Right.
So height is not everything always. Girth.
And
How
how
thick you are
heavy is
and shit.
Usyk? Does he come in for heavyweight?
Well,
I think he says
it's like it's like Povetkin or Whyte. You know, if they were, lighter, shit, they'd be like light. The way people fight nowadays, they'd be fucking light heavyweight champions of the world.
Yeah, but
but you can't miss. You cannot say that he has not been injured because he's trying to put on muscle. You can't discount that. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
He's torn his
Yeah,
bicep muscle trying to get bigger to fight the super heavyweights.
He's put on a lot of weight, especially around the neck and the shoulders. He looks like a big guy, but he looks like a bit of a pinhead now with his small little head on top. But I mean, if he could bring speed to it'd be great. But he's just nothing's happened for him, is it? I mean, other than he's not done anything yet. But I know it's all this happened with this COVID and everything. But he needs to do something, and he needs to do something quick. Otherwise, people are going to forget about him.
Yeah, but how heavy was Usyk in his last heavyweight bout?
215.
So imagine if he
I
fought
think.
Wilder. He's fighting a 6'11" guy who's like 290, for example. That's the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys are like acting like he's gonna just become irrelevant. If he beats Chisora, I mean, isn't he relevant?
Is that what is that saying though? Beating Chisora?
I mean, I guess he can beat a top 10 heavyweight. Is Chisora still a top 10? I guess he is. So.
Oh
I think he can hang in the heavyweight division.
Well,
That's
he
what it
might
tells
be
you.
top 15. Not top 10, but top 15.
Chisora's like
It
an
says he can
Orlando Salido. He's got like 9 or 13 losses. He's a road warrior. He throws a lot of
You're
punches.
right.
He puts
You're
on
right.
pressure, and he's got size. And he's a tough outing for anybody.
Road warrior. There
so
you go.
that's a dangerous fight.
It's right, yeah. They were talking about Dillian Whyte being like a gatekeeper or something. If anyone's a gatekeeper, it's Chisora. Yeah, I mean, he's a beast. If the guy turns up on the night, I mean, he can give anyone a fight. He's a good guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, some people think that Dillian Whyte is becoming the new Chisora.
Yeah, well, it's just shown here.
He will be. He will be for fucking sure.
I don't know.
Hey, yeah, if Dillian, if Usyk beats Chisora, it just says he can hang in the heavyweight division. That's all that tells you, you know.
Yeah.
That's his test. That's his.
Well, what more do people want? I mean, that's it's a step. I mean, the problem is that he should have been taking that step a long time ago now, or a few months ago, or a year ago.
Yeah.
Right?
What's that fight supposed to happen?
I don't remember what the fuck happened. What happened, guys, with that fight? I mean, somebody got injured.
He got injured again, I believe.
Yeah, and then COVID. Yeah.
No, the fucking
I
torn bicep.
love Usyk, but I think he's a fucking injury case. I don't know if he'll ever fucking mature into anything.
Yeah. What we'll see, man.
He is injury prone. Yeah.
I mean, he's a unified cruiserweight world champion. We don't want to write him off too quick, but
Well,
I mean, he's
some
got
people-
talent and speed.
Yeah.
But he's got a one decent, hasn't he?
How old is Usyk anyway?
33.
He's
like 33.
So he's not young, and
Well,
he's
that's the
just entering
thing.
the heavyweight now.
Yeah, and by the way, some people weren't even impressed with his heavyweight debut. I don't know what you guys thought, but I mean, he dominated the guy, but he really doesn't bring that much power into the division. Maybe that can change.
That was the problem people had with his debut, was the power. He didn't look like he could carry it, even with the weight he put on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, and that's that competition. Imagine if he fights AJ, Fury, Dillian Whyte.
I think he's also the type of guy who steps up to the competition in front of him. I think he's proven that. So the better the competition, the better he is prepared. So but
Let's hope so.
it is a big step up. It is a massive step up for the man. So.
But you got to think that Hunter fight. Look, they went tit for tat, and he got the knockout late in the fight. It's not like he blew the guy out of there.
You're right. I mean,
no, I think Joshua knocks him out, but
that's what we gotta
I think
see him.
Gives Joshua a good fight for a few rounds.
He could, but this is why we have to see him against Chisora.
Yeah.
That's gonna answer a lot of questions.
He's got the skills. He's got the skills to beat Chisora. He's got the skills to fight against these big heavyweights. But can he take the punching power and will his body hold up?
But also how he wins as well. Even if he wins, it depends how he wins.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you can do it in the heavyweight division without like massive punching power. I mean, look at Fury's slick movement. I mean, great movement, and the guy. I mean, I don't see Usyk coming in and doing a Povetkin and firing an uppercut and knocking a guy clean out. He's like 2 stone heavier than him. Yeah. But Usyk could definitely outclass him on points using his skill and being fast. So that's where I see him making waves in the heavyweight division. But whether he's got enough of that to be able to always slip the shots from the likes of Joshua or, like you say, Chisora or Whyte, I mean, that's another thing.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
He seems to have the stamina.
Oh no, he's got the stamina.
Yeah.
It's just can he take a shot from even the middle heavyweight? Middle and decent heavyweight. Can he take a shot?
Unless he does a Floyd Mayweather and doesn't get hit. But how often does that happen?
Hey, he got stunned by what's this guy's name? Gassiev. Remember that?
Yeah. 4th
round, I believe. He took that shot. Then again, it's a cruiserweight shot.
Yeah, and even look, if he goes the extra mile all the time and he gets rounds in because he can't knock these guys out. Yes, he becomes more experienced and more seasoned. He's got plenty of that, but also he's taking more wear and tear on his body. because he's not ending fights early. So the more rounds go, the more wear and tear on his body, and the more he gets hit. Maybe not hit, but
Yeah, he's
wear
been
and
in
tear.
tough fights. I mean, against the Latvian guy. What's his name again?
Bradis.
Bradis. You know, that was kind of a little bit of a tough fight there.
Hey man, like
Hunter.
Usyk, like Usyk's handling himself against many people.
You what? Sorry, I didn't hear. I missed it. What'd you say? No, I think he got cut off. Are you still there?
No, I'm still here.
No, what'd you say?
No, I was saying that Usyk's handling himself against many people in many different styles. Like there ain't no fucking.
Yo, there's a echo in the background, man. But I think I get what you're saying. Usyk has seen all styles. That's true, but we're talking about a different, factor here. It's the size difference.
You got you got the power. Power's different style, isn't it?
Yeah. This is something else, man. This is something Usyk has never seen, maybe in training or something, but not in a professional fight.
Yeah.
Think about another Ukrainian that's got a lot of miles on the odometer. He's still in the prime, maybe the tail end. Lomachenko. Didn't he have a rotator cuff injury? Hasn't he seen many styles to where he's a young guy, but he's kind of maybe mechanically his body is deteriorating just a little bit?
How many amateur fights does Lomachenko have compared to Usyk? Lomachenko's had a lot more, I think.
Especially a bigger guy that's traveled. But how many? I don't know really.
So Gonzalo, you're making a comparison here. And by the way, you were talking about Usyk facing somebody that's bigger and heavier at some point. Lomachenko's fighting a guy that's actually big in fucking this Teofimo Lopez. So you know what I mean?
And he's about to move up another weight. So
yeah, it's kind of
you've moved up to 140 soon. So yeah.
And wasn't another Ukrainian guy who retired early? Vosdik. These guys have been fighting ever since they're little kids. People think, they got 15 fights, they're newbies, but they're not.
Yeah, that's true. They went through this fucking Soviet style training and Drago style. I mean, their bodies can only take so much,
Yeah, especially that amateur, that repetitive fighting week in, week out. Half the time you don't even have a freaking clue who you're fighting, and then it takes a freaking toll on you. So it does.
Yeah,
trust me, I know that. So
my YouTube account says Fury was fighting from birth. That's a good point, though.
Yeah, but I mean, Ruiz was on the streets fighting. That's what they also say. He came from the streets and Mexican streets, and so I mean these guys are born fighters, aren't they? And on their night, you see what they can do. Like,
but I think
Ruiz.
that the Mexicans and the British they face a lot of local. I know this from experience. They face a lot of local fighters. Coming up in your
second
your
fight,
city,
like second
Tijuana,
fight,
maybe in Britain. But then when you get a step up fight, around your 15 or 16 fight, you go to the international level.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like the Russians, the Ukrainians, and the amateurs, they've been traveling the whole world.
Right.
So that might,
And Mexicans and I guess British Americans, they just fight locally. Is that what you're saying?
No,
locally, yes.
But Mexicans have a lot of fights. I know, like a lot of Mexicans have a lot of fights.
Yeah, but they don't travel.
Well, yeah, you have a lot of fights, but they didn't have a lot of amateur fights. So basically, their amateur fight is their early professional career. But they're trained and they're trained to fight as a professional, which means you're gonna you're gonna go inside the pocket. You're gonna pressure a fighter and break them down through the course of 6, 8, 10, or 12 rounds. Not like the amateurs.
But that's what. Yeah, but that's why you got Latino fighters who have a lot of fights, like Hector Macho Camacho, Julio Cesar Chavez, Roberto John. Only Latinos have that sort of records.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of fighters are fighting in the amateurs at 16, but Mexicans at 16, they're fighting professional.
Yeah.
Because the legal age in the United States, I think, is 18, but in Mexico, you can fight as young as 15.
All right, guys, we're going to end the show. It's been a few hours here, and I want to thank everybody. Jay Green, you got to come back. Kenshiro's always here. Brian as well. And Gonzalo, of course. Guys, you got to come back again. Continue this discussion.
Yeah, we will.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Everybody in the chat
Thank
as
you very
well.
much for having me. Thank you very much for having me.
No problem. We'll see you next time. Jesus
Have a
Christ,
good
man.
one. Peace.
Crazy ass fight. We'll see what happens in the future.
It certainly brings the hype back for boxing, doesn't it?
This is a good way to start a post-virus boxing world. What do you want to call it? Boxing is back, people. Boxing is back with a bam.
Hey, we still got that fight coming up later on today between two top contenders.
Forgot Smith. Listen, I'm telling you, upset. I see Smith going down, but getting back up and stopping Alvarez, man. I know you guys are thinking I'm crazy. That's my prediction. But guys,
I'm picking Joe Smith Jr.
Yeah, me too, man. I told you, we're on the same team here. Upset, man. Upset. All right, guys. Quick shout out to everybody: Schizoid Man, Flockin, Dingo, Icarus, Jay Green, of course. Who else is here? Reverend Pickles. Oh, the father who donated a tasty super chat. And everybody who donated. Guys, thank you very much. Your names will appear on the next show in the ticker on top. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Take care. Oh, by the way, guys, check out the Mr. BDA's playlist, the Lomachenko against Teofimo Lopez playlist. Just go to the playlist section on our channel. Great videos. Check out his playlist. All right, take care.
Also, Bucho, Porter.
Yes, sir.
Porter, the Porter fight later.
The Porter fight.
Yeah, he's fighting for.
Eh? You muted yourself, man. All right, I didn't even know Sean Porter's fighting, man. What the fuck's happening? Sean Porter's fighting? All right, anyways. Wesley,
I believe so. I think my fucking phone keeps going on mute. Yeah, Sebastian Formella, he's a German guy, I believe, undefeated.
Okay. I didn't fucking know that.
That's
shit.
later on today, I believe.
Holy shit. All right, go check that out then also. What the fuck? All right, guys. Thank you for joining. And Wesley Mitchell says second Renaissance. Yeah, we should have to do another second Renaissance. Official boxing scorecard. See ya. Everybody, take care, man. Oh, okay. So Sean Porter is fighting. Jesus Christ. All right, guys. Take care.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time. I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
He's just killed a little fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. Lomito! Got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.